I'll just say welcome everyone to the Faded Connections podcast, episode, I believe, number 47. We're a couple of weeks, I believe 3 weeks into the update Echoes of the Atlas with the accompanying Ritual League, and we've all had a lot of fun and probably a little bit more insight into it than in the last episode. So in order to discuss the current state of Path of Exile tonight, next to BalorMage and myself, we got ourselves This is BadgerGaming and SlipperyJim. Actually not gaming anymore, right?
Oh, yeah. We moved away from the gaming, and we're now just never gaming anymore. No, I managed to get a name change from an inactive account, which was nice. So
yeah, that's awesome.
This is Badger. Yeah.
Nice.
Great. And SlipperyJim.
I was never SlipperyJim Gaming, although I did have a short period where I was something other much worse, which I won't tell you, but if you go digging, you can find a really shit URL. So.
Oh, come on.
All right, be right back.
You can't leave it like that.
Oh, it's terrible. My original I had a SlipperyJim account on YouTube for however long YouTube has existed, and it got taken down because a Chinese spammer found it and filled it full of advertisements of watches. And I lost a lot of good old videos, and now Balor's gone looking for the URL. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
What have you done? What have you said?
Everyone makes mistakes in life.
We'll see how bad this mistake was.
That's fine.
I'm looking for it.
There's nothing to find.
Wait, how are you looking for it? Are you just throwing it into Google?
Randomly Googling. It's fine, don't worry about it.
Does he know your real name?
He might. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I knew your first name at some point. I just never remembered it.
Who'd have thought? There's no way you could possibly guess what it is.
I mean,
Badger's name is Badger in real life.
Yeah.
Safe assumption.
When I did the posts earlier on Instagram, and I tried to find Badger's Instagram in order to link it in the post, I found someone's account who was called This is Badger, and they just had photos of 2 dogs and a name, Barry something, I don't remember. Don't want to dox anyone. But yeah, any insights? You guys been playing a little bit of this game called Path of Exile recently?
Fucker sold me out. Sorry, go ahead. Path of Exile. Yeah. What about it?
You've played it before?
Sometimes.
Yeah, every now and then. Played a little bit. It's okay.
Yep.
It's a pretty good game. Yeah.
I live and breathe. Apparently, again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, to be serious, this league has brought the enthusiasm back into Path of Exile, definitely for me.
There's so much stuff to do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I kind of been the only person that was really worried before the league started that you just weren't going to be into it.
I knew I was going to be into Path of Exile because every league gets me in at to some degree, but I didn't really expect us to get as much content as we did, and it's I was a little bit worried, yeah, from previous choices from Grinding Gear Games, but this league has done very well.
People who've been watching me know the last league I spent the last 2.5 months playing League of Legends, and the league before that I spent the last 6 weeks playing it, and that it would have been more, but I dragged out the PoE content as long as I could manage to keep playing it because I know that's where my audience is and that's what I should be playing. So that's even when I don't want to leave the game. That's how long I lasted. I was so worried about this new league because I was like, man, if I'm not into it still, what the hell am I going to do?
It feels like it's been 3 days. How long's it been?
Out the window. Yeah. It's been 3 weeks.
What? 3
it's
weeks?
Been 3 weeks. I thought it was 2 weeks.
Listen.
Yeah, no, it's been 3 weeks, I think.
3 days ago, we finally dropped player numbers below what the absolute number one peak was on like day 1, day 2 of last league.
Mm.
We've
Yeah,
To be
it's
fair,
been a
it's
good
not the
league.
league,
higher
it's
player
the
base.
expansion.
Yes,
Right?
true. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we've maintained a higher player base this league 3 weeks into the league than we had on day 2 of last league. It's actually that big. Like, it's actually disgusting how much people are still playing. Like, they've nailed.
Did you like Heist
everything.
though?
No one liked Heist. Heist
Did
was
anyone
garbage.
like Heist?
I hated Heist.
It's not like you don't like it, it's hate. It's like I don't want to see it again. Take it off your
I
filter.
tried. I tried to jump back into Heist this league and just give it a go again and just try and make myself enjoy it. And I ran like 3 heists, and the whole time I was just complaining to my chat and just like and so yeah, I don't think I'm gonna try it again. You know, like some people love it and that's totally fine. I'm not one of those people.
Look,
at
I'm
all.
glad some people love it because I do want to be able to buy ultimate quality gems and replica
Oh,
uniques.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
super happy for other people, but I'll tell you what, I haven't been to the Rogue Harbor a single time. Do you know what happens if you don't ever go to the Rogue Harbor?
You don't get the
You don't
quest
get
contract.
Contracts drop on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
So if you just never go, you don't ever have to see them.
Yeah, I noticed that most in the most painful fashion by getting a lot of quest contracts. And I made a different character and I didn't get them in a while, and then like, I went into maps and I got them there as well. And now I got on both characters, my inventory is missing one full line because it's full of quest contracts. And you could put them into the crafting bench, into the Hoardy crafting station, into the beast crafting bench. Yeah, you could also do that, but I kind of want to do them because I didn't do them in Heist even. And now
I looked up the price of the unique contracts because you need to finish the quest chain to be able to drop them.
exactly.
And then I decided that the price of those unique contracts was not worth doing a single heist. So I just never went.
Yeah.
I was like, nope, see ya.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. But that's not the league that's right now. Well, yeah, that's Slippery did say a good thing actually before. Like all of my enjoyment out of this league has completely been from the expansion, not the league itself. And I'm sure I'll talk about that more. But
I don't think Ritual itself is bad.
No, it's
Have you
not.
started
It's
skipping
not.
Ritual?
I'm
already over it.
I was skipping Ritual from day 2 onwards. I don't think I've done a Ritual since day 2.
Like early
Really?
maps, sure, but
Yeah.
like later maps, it's just too slow.
I
So
know I'm
rewarding,
not, you know,
though.
I'm an edge case, but I know they're good as well. But like my whole goal this league was to push the Atlas as quick as possible, and doing Ritual slowed that down. And then I just got into a habit of never doing them. I know they're really good. Yeah, I know they're XP, but XP wasn't my my focus. My focus was Maven.
And like, there's so many returns and so many like currency drops, and like, I don't even care about the actual reward itself. The fact that I get 4 tight groups of monsters that scale with the pack size of the map I'm in, and become really, really, really dense.
Yeah, just the drops from the monsters, not the rewards.
It's like a third or more of the mobs in my map come from rituals. Like, I don't actually really care about the rewards. In fact, I've seen a stack of 10 chaos once, and other than that, like stacks of 2 chaos here and 2 chaos there, not enough to care. I open the reward window and I might press reroll at a glance. If I don't see anything, I'll check for synth bases, and if there's nothing there, I'll just click random currency. I don't even care. Just click, that'll do. See ya. But it's not super exciting. But the added mobs are still really good. It's definitely worth doing.
I
got a
17x synth base. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you first.
I
only
the
got a
best thing
6 link.
I've gotten was a 17x synth base, and then after that, I've just stopped looking.
What kind of base?
Like a really high percentage chance double damage bow or something.
Ooh, nice.
What's really high? Like above 20 or?
Like I don't know, like between 10 and 20. I don't remember, dude. My memory's shit. I'm doing too much stuff.
Yeah, I just want to, like, the thing is, if you tell me, like, a bow that's worth 7x, or 17x base, then I have no idea what is worth 17x. That's why.
I mean,
True.
me neither.
Yeah, we all play
It just
trade.
looked
We all
cool.
play trade, eh? But
Yeah.
Catmaster
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah,
Catmaster's like,
I'm the
yeah,
outsider. I'm not Australian. I'm not
Yeah.
Trade League. I'm not Softcore.
Oh man.
How many times have you died?
Actually, only once on day one, and then a couple. Like, because I didn't play in 11 days now because I was moving apartments and doing stuff, unpacking, packing. This is not a wall. This is just a white screen.
It looks like a bloody tiled wall, but I saw you setting up the illusion, so.
Yeah, no, I'm just hanging something on top of my green screen. Because I was like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That completely threw me off. Where was I? How many times have I died? I died once on day one because I was not paying attention. I was in the passive tree and was standing on the entrance of the zone, but I didn't realize. And then I was sidetracked by something in chat or like some audio bug on my streaming rig. And when I looked back, I was dead. And then I died because I was talking instead of gaming. Literally what I said in the clip. Because I took a large chunk coming out of an incursion, I concluded, hey, I was talking instead of gaming, I should pay more attention. And then without flasks up in a vulnerability map, I ran into the middle of 5 melee mobs and got deleted.
Ouch.
So you're still doing rituals and you're not horrifically dying? I'm proud of you. Then again, I don't know how hardcore players play safely.
Well, like I said, I haven't been playing in almost 2 weeks, so there's a lot of catching up to do in terms of progression. But rituals are fine. I mean, SSF, right? I mean, if Balor likes them in trade, then you can only imagine how great I find them.
I need to work them back into my my mapping schedule now because like my speed mapping through the atlas that was done ages ago, but I just haven't got back into the habit of clicking on the rituals. I'm sure they're good. I just need to do it.
They're significantly better the more juice you put into a map.
Yeah.
The more you juice, the better the rituals get, and it's like exponentially better because they don't, any mobs you add to the map, the percentage of those mobs that are near that ritual to begin with by default still get counted, and then they get carried to the next one, and then they get carried to the next one. And like if your map has beyond on it, which by the time you're in endgame in softcore, every map has beyond on it because it's only 5C. It's basically free, so it just becomes it's. I'm positive it's like a third of the total mobs in my map. Like it's actually huge.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't care so much for the rewards, but
if you want to add some chaos, some chaos entropy to the market, do rogue metamorphs, and if they spawn by default within a ritual, and then you kill it and then seal it, it'll show up when you add it. So seal it and then sell those seals on the market, and one random player is going to have a real bad time.
That's great. There's my next project. Try and get as many kills as I can on other players.
You guys find yourself? Sorry, please.
Just gonna say that would be really scary on hardcore trade. Buying already sealed ritual vessels.
So I don't think it would be scary. And the reason for that is hardcore trade is an entirely different beast. You should think of it like a small private league that's been the same people for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
you already know who's going to troll you. You already know who you can trust to buy stuff from.
Yeah.
To the point where, and I don't know if it's still this way because it's been a while, but it was easily to the point where when I needed something and it wasn't on the market, I knew who to whisper. Like I would just open my friends list because nothing was on the market, and I'd be like, I need this. Or I'd be like, I found a gem corruption. I actually know who needs gem corruptions. I'm just going to message them because I don't have one. And then they'll come and pay for it because they need it. And I know that. Like it's that kind of. It's definitely that like small league mentality.
Yeah, it's true.
How did we get to hardcore being a small league? That was you said you wanted to
Because the
put
players keep
rituals
dying
stack-
and they don't come back.
Hardcore trade,
Yeah.
more specifically.
Yeah,
Hardcore
the
SSF.
hardcore
Well,
trade
actually,
would
I don't know
be-
the numbers. Is SSF that would be bigger than hardcore trade, right?
Almost
I don't know.
certainly.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know, but I'm confident about it.
More
Yeah.
EP. Has to
Yeah,
be.
yeah, pretty much.
I have an important question. Badger, have you considered growing a beard?
I have tried.
For how long?
For a while. There were periods of my life where it was kind of not so much trying, but just not
Laziness.
shaving, and it just
Yeah.
laziness, and it doesn't grow. Like it grows a little bit more than this for 3-4 months. Nothing. Yeah.
Oh, so you've tried it for 3 or 4 months.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So it would be cool if I could, but I'm just gonna stay just like a baby-faced boy for a long time, I guess.
Fair enough.
It's
How
in
old
my
are you now?
genes. My dad's my dad can only grow like a goatee and like nothing more and that sort of thing. I'm only
Ditto.
24, so wait, 24? Yes, 24.
Try again at like early 30s.
Yeah, I'll give it another go. Yeah.
yeah, age definitely significantly enhanced it for me as well. Like, it didn't
It's
come
not
in the
worth
early
it.
20s. It wasn't worth growing it. It's not worth aging, or
No, it's not worth growing. It's a pain in the ass. I'm just too lazy to shave
No,
it.
it's
It's not
more of
worth
a-
aging. Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say it's more of a pain in the ass to actually shave it. My skin hates it. But again, I was wondering how we got to the general hardcore discussion from discussing rituals and ritual vessels. And I was going to ask you guys whether you still find yourself re-rolling the reward screen a lot, or what your threshold is. Fuck, I got
I
stuck
don't
with my
take
finger.
loot. I don't. If I see a 10C stash, a 10C pile, a 10 chaos pile, I'm not grabbing it immediately. All I'm doing is seeing, is there anything valuable? If there isn't, re-roll. If there is, defer it, then re-roll, and then defer the next thing, and then just keep doing that until I've got a bunch of valuable shit, and then I'll farm and get stuff. So pretty much every single ritual, when I was doing it, I was deferring every single one.
So you're not
Getting
doing
like-
them anymore.
Nah, I'm skipping them. Too many projects, not enough time.
I don't defer anything. Just open the screen. If there's something great, I take it. If there's not, I re-roll. If there's
This
still
is
nothing
Harvest
great, I'll just
2.0.
take random currency as quick as I can and move on. Just the important part, and I can't stress this enough for everyone. Please, for the love of God, check your fracture bases.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Fractured bases, diff
More
cards,
than
everything that you
diff
can't
bases on
see.
the market. Well, div cards aren't important because they get filtered. Div cards get filtered out, and so
True.
you know
If you have the
there's a
filter
good
thing
div
ticked.
card. Yeah,
Yeah.
which why wouldn't you?
If
So,
you've
like,
already bought things, it'll grey out cards. So if you want to check the value of div cards quicker, click defer, and then it'll highlight everything again. And then you can sort by left and up. Like some people I've seen with their little rip clips of, oh no, I didn't get a doctor div card because it was grayed out and I didn't know. If you click defer, it'll highlight everything again that's on your filter. And so you don't get baited by the fact that you've screwed up a ritual at some point in the map and then you cry and post it on Reddit.
Yep. I still haven't seen a doctor or anything worth that much. Literally 10C rewards is the best I've gotten.
I had an
Yeah,
exalt.
I've heard that the rewards are like really good if you do it consistently. So I'm a little surprised you haven't found anything more than 10Z. Are you doing them fairly consistently in maps?
Literally every map.
Yeah, okay. That's that. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised about that then. Yeah,
But I'm
Maybe I
still
won't go and do
doing
them.
because of the mobs.
because of mobs. Yeah,
It's the mobs. That's all I care about.
yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen shit from the reward thing. I don't think that my wealth would change at all if I stopped checking the reward at the end.
How rich
yeah.
are you?
Mobs in the map is like 40 sextants worth of mobs. Like it's so bad to not be doing that.
You're gonna miss that that one time that a mirror shows up though if you stop checking it. So
Well, if I stop checking it, I'll never know.
yeah, but you'll miss it.
You won't know it.
But I'm telling you that you'll miss it, so now you will
You open
know,
every
right?
chest in the map, right? And all the barrels, because the one you don't open is the one with the mirror in it.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't there that new? There's a new Watchstone mod that buffs up chests quantity or something of chests by like a ton.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a
Yep.
fun project.
I've
Are
already
those
been
Watchstones-
DM'd it, and I told
Yeah.
them to fuck off.
Do those watchstones affect unique maps?
That's what he DM'd me. He was like, "Hey, you should do this in a series map,
Yeah,
and
that's
open
my thought.
boxes."
What if you got 4
yeah.
of those and then ran 100 in series?
The normal wait, they're like sextants. Sextants don't work in unique maps, so I would assume it would work the same way, but I don't know. Yeah.
Easy way to
I guess
test
that's a
is
test.
put one of those watchstones in and open a unique map, and if it does like the pulse, like a sextant pulse, that means it's activated on it. So
Yeah. It's true.
Hmm.
test it and let
Interesting.
me know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, estuary.
I'm not doing it
A
again.
lot of boxes.
It does have a lot of boxes.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It's
could be a
actually
fun-
a map I
fun
don't
test.
run because there's so many boxes that I feel like I have to click them because I'm like, oh, there's 27 boxes on my screen.
Now you've got me thinking. Maybe that's the next project. That's gonna be so
I
boring.
know.
Box project.
This is a meme. Don't do it.
No, no.
I'll
But
give you
you
my
know me.
default box stats to compare against your like upper class box stats. I can already, if you do it, I can give you a prediction of how much money you're going to get from it. Like, tell me the Watchstone mods beforehand. I'll let you know. It's very predictable.
Yeah.
The answer
All
is
right.
shit all.
Maybe I will. Yeah.
I mean, no, yeah, okay, do it. Send me everything beforehand. I'll do an accurate prediction.
Oh dear. What is the mod? I'm actually going to look up the mod because I think it's substantial amount of quantity, but it's still not going to be enough.
It like decays, right? Compoundingly worse the more you have.
Slippery will be like, well, if you ran 100 maps normally, you'd make 20C. So with these mods, you'll make 28. Go.
I mean, you're close.
Yeah.
You could get lucky, get a mirror. Like, just throw the numbers off, you know? I'll get my quant calculator out. Let me know what you're doing, how much you got. If you're rolling the maps, qualitying them, sextant, rare. Wait. There's too many modifiers in this game now.
Oh, there. I can't keep up.
These atlas trees and whatnot.
Are you woke level 9? Which, by the
Woke
way,
level 7,
woke level
baby.
9 is amazing. This is the first time I've been running a woke. Well, okay, it's everyone's first time running a woke 9 atlas. But it's like my first time running like a woke 8 that's now a woke 9. I normally don't ever run that high. Because normally I want to target maps, and like the map I want to target will mean I have to like take stones out so that I can maintain a map. But for starters, I'm doing fractured burial chambers, so I don't need map drops. But second, if I wasn't doing fractured, when I changed to a character that's not fractured, I still just want to run burial chambers. It's one of the best maps on the Atlas, and it's got a doctor card. Why would I want to run another card? And it's just a natural 16 this time. There's only like 5 of them. You can horizon everything into burial chambers. So I don't need to take out any.
True, you get so many horizons from the Harbingers.
Yep. And it's just every tier 16 that drops can be one if I want it. So this is the first time I've got to leave my Atlas just filled out. It's fine.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. It feels really good to fill the Atlas out. It's nice. Feels rewarding.
Normally I do that on like day 2. I've finished the Atlas, maybe day 3. And then I just pull stones out of everywhere. And there's only like 1 or 2 regions that stay for watchstones.
Yeah.
Because I want to maintain maps. And I know me, I'm not one of those people who wants to run a bunch of different maps. I want one map. I want a map I decide on, and I'm going to run that for now. And maybe in a week's time, I'll want a different map, but I'll change my Atlas to suit it, and then I'll maintain that map. I don't like changing.
I get so bored doing that. I just can't do it. I'm all about the boss pushes. Yeah.
Wait.
I do it with bossing, but yeah.
you get bored chain mapping the same map? You get bored mapping in general? Or
chain mapping the same map. And just like normal mapping without anything extra to that, any extra mechanic. Like I'll chain multiple maps to run Cirrus over and over again, but Cirrus is my goal, which by the way has been so terrible this league. My drops, I think I've run like almost 30 Awakener 9 Cirruses, and I haven't dropped an Awakener's Orb since the 4th Cirrus. And like nothing else is dropped.
Rewarding.
Yeah, it's not. from my studies, Awakener 9 just feels terrible, even with all of the modifiers on. I don't know. I've just been so unlucky.
I've been wondering if Awakener 9 for a little while, because killing Conquerors and killing Cirrus has felt slightly off compared to other leagues, and it should be better. And I'm wondering if Awakening 9 is the problem with that, and that if I dropped it back to 8, then I get more.
See, I was doing boss carries for like a week, and I was carrying a lot of people's Awakener 8s, and everyone was getting some pretty good loot that I was, running for them on Awakener 8. And then I go back to my Awakener 9, and I'm like, we can't really pull anything from that because I'm one person. It could just be confirmation bias of me just being unlucky or something like that. But it's still making me think like, maybe there is something there.
Well, the thing is, you're right, and people fucking hate me for this. You're right, but I make almost all of my decisions, both in the game and in my real life, off this feels like the correct answer without any data to back it up at all.
Yeah.
and I've been feeling like Woke 9 is fucking my Cirrus up.
Yeah, well, it does feel that way to me. So there's now 2 people out there. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Also, anyone out there, if you feel the same, then chime in right now and hit us up.
Literally less than a dozen of you.
Yeah.
How many people play in this league? Well, how many people are killing Cyruses, I guess?
Well, presumably a lot. But I want to take polls. Like, I want to see if other people feel this way or whether it's just us. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I don't know if
definitely.
I should mention it, but there should be a lot of Cyrus data out there. Whether the people that are doing that thing that may or may not have been patched were doing Cyrus 9s or not. There's probably a lot of data out there on drops.
That has been patched.
Oh, good. We can talk about it then. I hope they were doing 9s because then
it's been patched.
Well, the Total Lion, nothing serious. Cyrus, puns. There should be data. You can go find it.
Look,
right?
Listen, it's like 4 days old. If it's not patched by now, it's their fault. So there was a thing that you could do to just basically run infinite Cirruses.
It was like the old school monstrous treasure thing. Like, open the map and take a thing out, and then, I got Cyrus again. Open a map, take a thing. Oh, Cyrus is here again. I didn't do it. And just killing him over and over again.
Yeah, and each time, every single time, they were giving rewards.
I hope they're banned now because.
But I mean, I also hope, like, if somebody did that 2 or 3 times,
sure, that's fine.
I would let that slide.
And then the guy that did it a couple of times.
Hang on, this happened. Can I do that again? And then you're like, shit, did that really work? I'll do it a 3rd time. And then you go, no, that's fucked. Yeah, no, that's.
But then the people doing it 50 times in a day and then selling all the shit.
Yeah.
Those guys. Ban those guys.
Yeah. I didn't even know that existed. That's interesting.
Yeah, so that was a thing. But I would love to see the data on their kills. Because surely,
true,
I know there was at least 50 people doing that.
Yeah.
And that they would easily be killing 150 Cirruses a day.
That's the one good thing that could come out of that is
now
getting
I
data.
Want that data.
Yeah.
like, do I want them banned for bug abuse? Sure, probably. But I'd be willing to let it slide if we could get like comprehensive data.
I still ban them, but give me the data.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to know, man.
Yeah. It's what I'm slowly trying to chip away with at my own data, but like Cirrus is just so frustrating to just spawn. It's just annoying. Well, it just takes a while, right? If I'm wanting to do like 100 Cirruses, it's going to be a long time for me to do that.
the Atlas nodes certainly help this league, though. They're like,
Oh, they do. Yeah,
chance
makes it
to,
25% faster, basically.
I forget who said this. Someone said this, and I super agreed with it. I actually hate that node that's like 50% chance to double the progression on your Sirius thing. What I really want is for that node to just say, you can no longer spawn 9 long
Yeah,
requirements. Be like,
yeah,
they're always
that would be way better. Yep.
They're always either 7s or 5s now. You just get rid of the 9.
You could just make like a lab farmer, and if you had a lot of maps, you could spawn Sirius like so fast. Like if you had a boss killer and then a lab farmer, you don't have to clear the map. You just have to run like through 80% of it and then portal out, and it'll just count your progression.
So the answer to that is the character that Grimro's currently playing. It's a mana miner with rage, and it moves at incredibly fast speeds, but also does really good boss damage because you don't actually have to clear 80% of the map. You could just run directly to the boss and kill it if you move that quick. And that's how quick he moves. So if you wanted to spawn it in a hurry, you just kill the boss.
Yeah, it is true. I played that build last league, and it was a really good Sirius farmer just because of the fact of, you know, you could run through maps and clear what you needed to clear, but also boss extremely well. It's pretty good.
Good way to hate yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, burning maps in softcore is not really a big issue either, because I mean they're cheap. They're so cheap.
The drop rates are very good.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. The map returns are pretty good. Like you may even get away with just farming a part of the map.
Yeah. How's your experience in SSF with map progression on this Atlas?
It's a lot of fun. It feels more natural. It gets stale later. I mean, that may just be the novelty that will eventually, inevitably wear off. But I think it's just a lot more fun. There's always a point where, like, I don't know, where you, instead of just going, you just look back at your character and you look forward and you're like, okay, where am I gonna get? How long is it gonna take until I reach this or that level? And that is usually a lot earlier during the game for me, where I start thinking about it instead of just playing and just leveling, just gaining levels without actually thinking about leveling. And yeah, now I think there's so much to do. You can do so many side encounters with the Maven, well, at least the first time progression, that it just never gets boring. And I'm
so
past level 90 before I know it.
Do you believe that I don't have all my watchstones from Sirius?
I would believe that.
I definitely believe that.
I have a fully completed Atlas.
Yeah.
And
you don't need to get them all from Sirius. Yeah.
But yeah, you just actually don't need them anymore at all. That entire progression is now pretty much irrelevant. At least
from my experience, yeah, it really is. From my experience, because I really, really wanted to push as quick as I could to get to the Maven fight. And even just doing some pretty sketchy kind of Atlas strats to just kind of get into T16 maps as quick as possible and everything like that. Like I was on an Awaken at 8 Atlas before I'd done my second last rotation of Conquerors. So like I got, you know,
you had eight stones left to get still.
Oh, I had like,
and we were already finished.
My last one there before no, I think I had like 6 stones left to get. So I got like about 6 watch stones in the time that I got the other 26 or something like that.
I was on a Woke 8 Atlas before I fought Sirius for the second time.
Yeah. Did you buy any, or did you just farm them yourself, or?
I think we just farmed them. Because really early on, we realized that we were playing builds that were strong enough on like day 2 to do all the invitations and all the bosses, and so we were doing like Elder boss runs and Shaper boss runs and buying Elder and Shaper maps in bulk and like running them with the double ups to get. That's
the other thing. They drop so much now. It's great.
Yeah.
I
Do you know
think I
that's
was
still
almost
profitable
sustaining.
now?
Yeah, it's crazy.
You
Yeah.
can literally just buy shaper maps, run them, and run the shaper invitations, and that's profitable. And you can
Yeah.
still just run shaper, and
Yeah.
that's profitable. And you can
Yeah.
still run Uber Elder and make money, and you can still run Elder
pretty
maps
great.
and make money. Everything still makes money. We're like 3 weeks into the league.
It's
These are all
because
normally
so many people are
trash.
playing still. Yeah.
Yeah, but all those things are normally trash by now. Like if you're not boss killing on day 2, normally it's worthless. You might as well not make a boss killer as far as profit is concerned in
Well,
software.
I would say I've had experience of like late league bossing, and returns could still be pretty good in previous leagues. Like I made some pretty decent money in heist and that sort of thing. Like you can still do it if you're focusing the right stuff. You still make some pretty decent money.
Though.
Oh, compared to now, yeah, now's way better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much, and that's permanent because that's the expansion. So that's so if you're
nice.
someone who really likes bossing and doesn't really like the idea of speed mapping or juicing, you can just make
Hands
a
up
bosser
here.
next league. You can just straight up make a bosser, and all you have to do is make sure that you can map quick enough to finish your atlas within a few days, or as quick as you can, and then you can just focus on bosses for like weeks. It's fine.
Why do you think that is? Like, it's a super interesting observation, but like, do you think that's? I have this theory that normally a lot of people who don't get into endgame early will just drop off playing, and now people who don't get very far very fast stay engaged longer, and therefore they're buying more progression from other people. Or what do you think is causing that?
Maybe, but I think it's a time investment thing. It takes too long to go bossing normally for the amount of reward you get. You always got rewards. It just wasn't enough to warrant my time. It was never worth doing a Hydra map because Hydra had phases and the map didn't progress my Cirrus fight. And I would get 1 fragment and nothing worth anything from it. Now, the bow is still worth like 30 or 40 C. It was worth like 2x like a week into the league still. Don't know who the fuck was playing with that bow, but that's a whole different thing. And then you would definitely get a fragment, and you'll probably get a second fragment because some other shaper boss will jump in and fight you. So we just not doubled your return, but it's like what, 50% more returns or something? Like it's
from my experience, it's about 50%.
Yeah.
It's about 50% for an extra fragment, yeah.
And then that's not counting when you go and do the invitation, which will probably give you 2 more fragments. You'll probably get 2 more fragments out of that invitation. So every shaper map is going to give you 1.5 fragments on average. So now you've got 6 from doing just those 4 bosses. Then you're going to get 2 more from doing the invitation. Now you've got 8 fragments per 1 run.
Yeah.
Apparently that Hydra bow is 1C now. Okay, it's bad. But for a while it had value. It's normally like 2C on day 1. I don't know who was using it, but apparently that's
it is a really good point. Yeah. That like what Balor's making, a really, really good point. Like if you're doing the invitations and you're doing, the end game bosses in rotation, you're getting at least double the rewards that you ever used to get. It's basically the gist of it, which is pretty insane. For someone like me who would just boss anyway, like to be getting double the rewards from doing that, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy. So I made too much currency this league, and I'm probably a week off SSF because of that. We'll see. When I get too much currency in a league, it doesn't keep me playing. It's annoying.
I know that feeling.
Some people like it does, and that's totally cool as well. But like, I just I'll be going to SSF. I'm still trying to figure out whether I do hardcore or softcore though. My crashes have stopped happening, so maybe hardcore. Does anyone else experience crashes?
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Non-lethal though for me.
Oh, that's
I might
good.
do solo self-found, but it would have to be softcore still. I would want a softcore get Maven kill in solo self-found. That would be
My
fun.
solo self-found friend just merged over because he was sick of it. So, and now you're going back to solo self-founds. Same player base. They're just swapping.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah,
people.
I would love to be able to push to see if I could get anywhere close to pushing Maven on hardcore SSF, but it would probably, because I've got other events coming up and everything like
Ooh.
that, it would probably take longer than what I'd need to do it.
What if after the Badger League, we both went into softcore solo self-found and played the same build and raced each other?
Race, that could be interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
We're both gonna die. We're neither gonna make it there, but it would be entertaining. And it would keep me motivated to try and do the thing.
Yeah, it's true.
It would also probably make me take more risks because I'd be like, oh, I'm not in front. I need to be in front. All right, let's go.
Yeah, that could be fun. That could be fun. We could talk about that. I'd be interested in something like that. Yeah.
Plus, without it being an official race, we can, be reasonable about it and be like, I know there's no 19-hour day racing things.
Yes.
None of that
Let me know about it. I'll chime in.
Yeah.
Do a private cup. I want to ask SlipperyJim, because you haven't shared any insights on the bossing stuff, and have you been running the endgame bosses, or have you been more occupied with your experiments?
I've done 500 maps in the last 2 days, so I want to die, but it's worth it in the long run. I'm doing Harbinger science, then I'll do other science, and I'll do other science, and just trying to find ways to make money. Harbinger's definitely a way to make money.
Oh, it's crazy. It's insane.
Isn't everything a way to make money now?
Yeah. Like, my mate's running bloody tolls for 2 chaos a pop, and he's making money.
Yeah. You can... Also, if he's spending 2 chaos a pop, he's getting ripped off.
He's buying fucking 200 at a time. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm selling 50 at a time for 1.2 chaos a piece.
Well, hey, sell them to me and I'll sell them to him and make a cut. How are you buying bulk? I know PoE Path of Exile trade has it, but it's a bit sometimes. I don't know. I'm just sad PoE app's dead. That's all.
Well, it's still alive now, and I'm still using it for bulk sales until it dies. I'm very sad.
We'll have to get our hands on a GitHub backup of it somehow. Have a black third-party underground trade network. They exist, right?
Could we pay the guy to just keep the app running and don't even
Bribe
update
him?
it? Put as little work into it, just keep it functioning.
Put it on a Patreon. And then password protect it to people that give money. Because people already... It's kind of towing the line. People are already doing, pay me money and I'll make you... I'll give you secrets in-game kind of thing. And that's towing a line, I think.
Secrets?
Yeah.
Fishing secrets?
What?
So, where do I pay for secrets?
I'll send you a link later.
Secrets to me, because I will straight up do them on stream and just share them with
everyone. That's the thing. People don't tell me anything on stream anymore because I'm like, oh, that's how it works. All right, everyone. I don't care about keeping secrets about money making in this game.
I will 100% pay for the secret and then just do
then
it
it's gone.
on stream
It's public.
and let everyone know.
That's why no one sells you secrets.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we keep secrets for 1 or 2 days. When there's some disgusting farming strategy, and what happens is I can't do it. And so I send people from my team. I'm like, right. I'll be in Discord. I'm like, right, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna buy these. You're gonna run that in that way. Have fun making tons of money. I'm gonna go over here and cry doing the thing that makes 1/5 that amount, because if I
But bossing makes money now, so you're good.
Yeah, it was fine. I just kept bossing. That's what I did. Still good money.
I'm trying to make a self-temp chains headhunter build, but I am too shit to make builds. I know you're supposed to make the self-temp chains headhunter and then put anything with it and it works. And so I put something with it and it doesn't work because I can't kill a rare to begin with. Because I'm shit.
That's impressive.
I'm currently running myself headhunter.
I'm just going to steal your build. That's cool.
It's expensive.
How expensive is it?
I mean, it depends on whether you craft it yourself or whether you buy it like an idiot.
Well, I've already got half the shit. I just need like
Well,
an
if
actual
you-
build that works.
Yeah, if you buy it like an idiot, it'll cost you about 400 to 500 exalts.
That's a bit much. I'm not going the increased effect medium cluster if that's what you're talking about.
You don't have a choice.
Nah, I don't
You
need
either
that.
do that or self.
You don't want to know.
Not
You don't want to
bothered.
know how I've made this worse. It's so much worse. It's not viable at all. Like I've
See,
bastardized it.
those are my types of builds. Heck yeah.
Yeah, you take a good build and you
Don't have to
absolutely
be in
destroy it.
You absolutely do not have to be an occultist, though. You can do self
Oh, I'm
cast
not
as
doing
anything.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about Nemesis, like stealing the hexproof mod?
What's the name of the chest? Can anyone remember? I
Prosperous
remember what it
Will.
looks like. That's
Oh,
the
there's
one,
a
thank
chest piece.
you. Mhm.
What's the name?
Prosperous Will.
Oh,
Prosperous
right,
Will
of course, yeah.
makes-
Yes,
True.
50C
Fair-
for a
fair
6
enough.
link.
What?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
I think I
it's-
need to play some Trade League. I like that chest piece.
Yeah.
Nah, you
That's
keep
pretty
doing
good.
you. Don't
The-
corrupt
the
yourself
number
for
one-
like memes.
The number one thing people say when I'm like, you can use Prosperous Will is like, but my explodey chest. And I'm like, but
Yeah.
my explodey wand. Ah?
Yeah. Explode ones are a
explodey bow.
thing.
Yeah.
Explodey
Oh.
anything I want.
But with dual obliterations, I would love to be occultist anyway, because occultist got buffed from what was it, 25% to 40% chance
40?
to explode. It's so
Pretty
good.
nice.
I haven't played any occultist. I just have played a lot of occultist before. I can tell you exactly how good it is because it's
And
amazing.
with 2 obliteration ones, what is that, like 90%? No.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird
90%.
computation because you don't stack it additively because
No,
it's
they
like multiplying the chance that they don't explode and then that -1 minus that or
interesting.
something like that.
So, everything else in the game, yes. Obliteration ones and occultist ascendancies are the same thing. They stack additively. That will
Oh,
straight
okay.
up be 100%
Oh, okay.
chance. Why that works different to every other version in the entire game, don't know. But those two are the same thing. I got
Okay.
into it.
Well, I
got
think
into a
things
very
that
heated
go up
argument
to
a year and a half ago. And got
most things
schooled
that go up to
on
like percent, right? Like a 100% for like, you know, a guaranteed chance for something to happen. Most things work like that. It's additive, surely,
Well,
or not.
N-
We're
no,
not. I'm not
because
talking about like, you know, percent increased damage because you get over, you know, 100 there and it can keep
No,
stacking, but-
specifically
yeah.
explodey mods, but
Yeah,
but
there are
not
specific-
apparently those.
Yeah, there are
Okay.
specific versions of exploding mods that'll be like, you have a 20% chance to explode as physical, and then you could get another 20% chance to explode as physical somewhere else, say from cluster jewels, just for an
Gotcha.
example, right? Well, that's 2 separate 20% chances,
Mhm.
which means it could explode not at all, or it could explode twice, because both of them go off and deal double that amount of damage. And that's how every
What, you
other
could explode twice? I thought it
Yeah.
could only explode the second time if it didn't explode the first
Nah,
time.
just stacks.
all on death effects
Wow.
happen at the same time. So you can do
Mm.
that, and you can do bleed explode, and you could do impulsor explode, and you could do herald of ice explode, and they could all appear at the same time,
Huh.
and they will all do damage. But for
Interesting.
some reason, occultist and obliteration ones aren't separate things. They're the
They
same
stack.
thing, and if you add them together,
They're
it's
just made for
one
each other.
increase.
They're
Yeah.
siblings.
Yeah.
I know because I
Family.
had a big argument on Reddit about a year and a half ago, and then I got schooled by Mark. Mark G. He was like, "No, they just add additively," and I was like,
But why?
and I'm like, "No." Then I went, "No, they don't."
Yeah.
And
Are
I
you
argued
that-
Wait,
with
to
him.
Mark? You
Yeah.
said that to Mark? Oh my goodness. What have you done?
Because I have entire builds. I've had many builds built around the mechanic that they don't stack additively and that they can all go off at once.
hmm
I've done build
Yeah.
guides on them. I know all of those interactions so well that I was so confused. I went and tested different versions of exploding game, and I was like, no, they're definitely not additive. I spent like hours like trying to pull out one mob at a time and like see what would explode and what wouldn't, and record the numbers and be like, no, it's not additive. All these things are separate. And I hacked back onto Reddit and I was like, no, this is not how it works. I've done testing. This is not how it works. And then we got into a little argument, and then he brought out the numbers and the specific thing, and he was like, "No, this specific interaction that's being asked about, you're wrong, and this is why." He's like, "This is cultist, this is literation one. They stack," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck! Why did I ever argue with Mark? What a dumb thing to do. I'll never do that again." Next time Mark GGG says you're wrong on that, I'll be like, "Thank you for correcting me, sir."
Yes.
I have learned new information.
Thank you for correcting me. Have a good day, sir.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Obliteration. No, one last thing. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Just like an obliteration wand with the new Elementalist Ignite node is just infinite chains. Just like you've got chain proliferation, just like that. It's great. It's awesome. There's so much to do with Elementalist now, and all I want to play is Elementalist, and I have to stop myself. I've got about 5 Elementalist builds planned, and they're all Ignite, I think.
Oh yeah, I got one of them.
Oh dear.
Wait,
You don't even need
5
floaties
different
with
Ignite
music.
builds?
Yep.
I can only come up with Divine Ire, Burning
full
Arrow.
conversion, Eternity Shroud, Ignite, Divine Ire. We've got
What was the fucking mouthful?
Scourge Arrow Ignite. Is
Scourge
one
Arrow?
that can work because it has pretty good more damage with ailments on
Okay.
it. We've also got Earthquake Ignite, Elementalist. Looks pretty fun. There's 3. There was definitely more. Yeah, there was just like the Burning Arrow one that I wanted to do as well. That's 4. Yeah, maybe not
Earthquake
5.
Ignite
maybe.
sounds fun.
I'm waiting to see if you say it or not. Keep going.
Well, no, those are the ones I've got in my head. So yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I'll
the other
have
one
to
I've already
DM you
tried is
some-
the other one I've
I'll
already
have to-
tried is a Herald of Thunder Ignite auto bomber, which can just use Herald of Thunder and an explode chest to do some pretty crazy map clears.
I looked into doing the obliteration meme, but I get more clear just with my ignites because my ignites do more damage than a quarter of the monster's life, or whatever. And then you can
scale
this
that up pretty
thing
nice though. So
that increases like the radius of the explosion, so you just blow up the entire screen by hitting one monster. Just very sexy.
Yeah, there's some good stuff.
Everything feels worse in comparison.
I want to
Yeah,
try
yeah,
that
ruined
Ignite Earthquake because I've been playing Bleed Earthquake and I love the build. I can
Ignite
imagine that to
Earthquake.
feel similar, but like just a different flavor, right? Like
The numbers
same candy,
look pretty
different
good.
flavor.
The numbers look good, although it looks pretty softcore from how I've built it. But that's
Well, I
just
mean, if
all
the
of my
numbers
builds.
are good when you build it softcore, then the numbers are still going to be decent if you build it hardcore, right?
Yeah.
You could sacrifice some offensive numbers to get some defenses, and I know that Elementalist gets some good stuff. Do you get the golem nodes in that?
Yeah, the golem nodes are insane.
Yeah,
I mean, just offensively, the golem nodes are really good.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant.
Offensively and defensively, like there's almost no reason not to take them unless you're going pretty specific other mechanics in Elementalist. That's my opinion, but those nodes are just crazy. Yeah.
It's the free resummoning for me that makes me really. I want to make an Elementalist this league.
Yeah. I'll definitely do. They're so much fun. Like I played the first 2 weeks on an Elementalist, and the build was disgusting, and Elementalist was disgusting, and yeah.
Like I played with golems because I was playing a Necro Golemancer, which is, by the way, still disgusting and can still AFK blight maps, and was a joke of a league start, and had 88 max res on everything by like day 4. It was so good.
Yeah.
Literally AFK Elder and Uber Elder and Shaper, and it was ridiculous. Still stupidly strong, but playing with the golem nodes, like not as a golem build, but as an actual build that just has the golem nodes. I'd be really happy about that.
It's very viable. Yeah, it's really strong.
I always wanted to do it. I heard about it like a couple of leagues ago. I think ever since they introduced those nodes on Elementalist, I suppose. And it's
really good.
It's been always interesting because it's so you can make a lot of different skills work because it's such a generic bonus to your build.
Yeah.
And you can just scale a lot of things with it. But personally, I've been interested since I read that Winter Orb got a buff. Been interested in trying that out. And in the end of last podcast, I actually played a little bit of an old Winter Orb character, which for me looked workable because I thought it was still acceptable in red maps despite being built very suboptimally. And I was being made fun of the other people on the podcast, but Somite actually has been pushing his Winter Orb Occultist, which I mean is a Headhunter build as well, self-curse, I think. But he's been pushing it pretty hard, and he's been doing some endgame bossing with it. I actually haven't been able to catch the stream lately, but I definitely want to check that out, how he built it. And I myself built a little bit of a mana scaling variant on Hierophant, which I now call Hydrophant because Hydrosphere does so much for the clear. Hydrosphere is a really cool new skill. I at first didn't really get it, and I didn't really dip my toes into it. No pun intended, but I actually tried it out with the Winter Orb because the Winter Orb auto-targets it. You know, how Winter Orb, you channel it up, and only when there's enemies nearby, normally it fires projectiles, but it actually targets the Hydrosphere. So once you put that down, it always fires, and it has no problem freezing it, and I'm running it in a pseudo 5-link, faster casting gloves, so I can move it around swiftly. And Winter Orb's doing most of the clearing, and then whenever I feel like there's a big pack where I stand on the spot for a while, I throw in the Hydrosphere, and the Hydrosphere is linked with Archmage, so that it consumes a lot of mana, so I can stand in a Sigil of Power and quickly ramp that up and get flat damage globally for the build, as well as get flat damage from Arcane Cloak. I actually picked up that idea from a Tarky Cat video, I think, where he explained that, like, that he was doing that on a Trapper because you can't support traps with Archmage. Now, with the channeling skill like Winter Orb, you can support that with Archmage, but you can't afford it because putting a percentage cost on every channeling tick is very, very hard. I mean, theoretically, maybe you can do it in with high investment in softcore trade, but in SSF, I can't pull it off. And so the Winter Orb is just using generic supports. But yeah, it's been doing pretty okay so far. I'm just a little bit worried because I'm dual wielding weapons. Probably have to get a shield later on, otherwise I'm going to die. But I have no idea. Like, it's going to be a decent map clearer, even for red maps, but I have no idea how I'm going to scale it into like real endgame damage for bossing. That's why I have to look at the Somats build. But it definitely feels a lot better. Like the 1/3 or 50% more duration, what they gave it. It went from 1 second to 1.5, I think. It's a huge difference for how it feels. 1.2 to 1.6.
33%, I think.
33% more. It makes a night and day difference. Like before, it was really hard to keep it up, even with both duration clusters. Now it's still not, the old Winter Orb, but it definitely feels okay.
Just hoping for some number buffs to Winter Orb. But all we got was the duration, which was, it was fine, but, yeah, oh well.
I think it's one of those skills that it easily gets out of hand with high investment.
Yeah, definitely.
Buffing its inherent numbers would just make you reach that point faster.
It's true. It's very true.
Never played it. Missed it in its golden days. Haven't bothered.
Yeah, I didn't play it in its golden day. Yeah,
I didn't appreciate it for what it was in its golden day when I tried League Start with it in Betrayal.
I played a lot of it. I loved it. I wanted to come back, but I also don't want it to. So
you love easy things, though.
Well,
yeah, Balor is seduced by the dark side.
I like
the quick and easy path
to pull off from a gearing and mechanic perspective, but easy to play. And that's because I know a lot about the game and I like learning, but I'm a shit player. That's what that's about. I just know stuff. I'm not good.
Your skill in the game is knowledge. Yeah. No, I don't. I don't know. Things tend to go in one ear and out the other for me in this game a lot of the time. I'm always getting schooled by chat, and that's fine. You know, I don't mind that. Yeah. But I'm also a very inefficient gamer. I just won't, you know. Sometimes I won't even remember my pantheon. Sometimes I'll get to level 90 and realize I've still got 8 skill points to get from levels. Sometimes, yeah, I just forget so much stuff. Imagine what I could do if I paid attention.
I was level 92 this league, and I still had 2 passive points missing that I've done.
I got to level 70 and realized I wasn't wearing boots.
Okay, that's bad.
It's really fine. I must have took them off to swap at some point, but forgot to put the new pair on.
Were you using phase run at least and smoke mine and stuff like that?
I was having a real hard time leveling, if I'm honest. So makes sense.
That's great.
Not wearing boots. Meanwhile, I spend like 3x on alt leveling pieces, including 7 league steps, because I can't handle walking slow.
7 league steps are great.
I almost want to just wear them on every build forever and just like work out a way to fix, like, it's just some life and res. I'm in softcore. Like, surely I can just wear the 7 league steps.
Yeah, but like now with like Tailwind and Maven Orb Tailwind's increased effect and 35% boots, like that's better. That's way better. So, you know.
Sure.
It's expensive, yeah, but
synthesized boot base with onslaught permanent.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now we're talking.
Pity you can't. Yeah, I can't. I wish you could synthesize elder pieces and stuff.
Yeah, things would get out of hand then.
Next league, maybe.
Oh.
I know, but I want my +2 to level of SlipperyJim boots to have just onslaught on them, because I can't get onslaught as a summoner.
Yeah,
but I want to run faster.
It's true.
But I run one faster. Just play Raider.
Slippery makes a good point. Maybe next league, you know, I was thinking that'll never happen. That'll be broken, right? But then every league we get something else that we're like, what? Wait, what? What? We can elevate tier 1 mods now? What? Who would have thought that was ever going to happen, right? So yeah, you never know. Maybe next league. They're like, you know what? Yeah, you can influence synthesized items. Actually, no, it would be okay if you could turn influenced items. If you could give influenced items a synthesized implicit from Harvest, but you couldn't influence synthesized items. Like,
I would also like it if it. I feel like it would be okay if doing so locked the item in place.
Made it a vow.
Yeah, corrupted and yeah.
Actually, give it the mirrored tag so you can't even change the socket colors. The socket state.
Wait, can you not change the sockets on mirrored stuff?
I think you can't anymore. I think you can only change it on corrupted.
No. Yeah, you can't do it on mirrored.
That's why when you get a mirror
beforehand. Yeah.
Exactly why the people who make them often make them with white sockets, or like just ask you for the socket configuration that you want to have. Mirrored.
I've only ever gotten like fracture-based mirrors, and I only ever got them in white sockets, so I didn't even know.
I've never bought one.
Yeah.
Waste of money.
Fair enough. Waste of money. I've got a disgustingly good explode one that cost me almost nothing.
Fine. But like mirroring something, waste of money.
With an actual mirror, yeah.
No, like fracture mirror stuff, like try and craft with it, not spending an actual mirror mirroring something.
My luck has been crazy this league with like crafting and that sort of thing. I don't think it's still probably not mirror tier. I think there's one that's like better, but I made in like 15x this league at 1170 DPS crit staff, which was insane. And so now I'm playing Glacial Hammer with it because I have to try and be ethical with the staff. So, but yeah, it just goes to prove like, well, we haven't talked about Harvest that much, have we? Oh my goodness. Harvest
No,
back.
that's a perfect segue into the harvest topic.
My goodness. Yeah, Harvest's crazy. And I don't know how I feel about it. I've got some opinions about the way that it works in Trade League right now. But yeah, I'll let other people talk first. No. Well, what do people think about Harvest?
Last episode, I went on and on about how shit it is and how it caters to the 1% and excludes everybody else.
We talked a lot about harvest and trade specifically last week.
Okay, so yeah, those are my thoughts.
Podcast.
Yeah, I'm not happy with it in Trade League, but I don't know what to do about it.
Did you talk about how some people wanted to get like a harvest orb, like Bestiary has, so they can seal their crafts and hoard them? I'm like,
Yes.
that's a terrible idea.
Yes.
How is that different from Hoardy crafting stations, except it's
Because
worse?
Hoardy crafting stations have 10, whereas a Sealy orb, you could have like 500 and you could price fix.
Yeah, no, I mean old stations, like Harvest League stations, I mean.
Well, they're not in the game anymore, so does it matter?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, where would be the difference?
So
Except that it's worse.
They want old harvest back. That's what they want.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? I did a lot of thinking about this since the last time.
Here's the thing. That's the new name of the podcast when we rebranded. Balor always says, "Here's the thing."
Right. There are only two reasonable ways to deal with harvest, in my opinion. There are two reasonable ways that are fair, because right now, somebody who plays as much as I do can make whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Somebody who gets a day or two, like an hour or two a day, just get fucked. You're done. You don't get to make shit. So there are two ways to do it. Either you take it away, you don't give it to anyone, or you get rid of the cap completely and you let people do harvest. Because right now it doesn't make a difference to me. There might as well not be a cap. There's a server. I'm willing to play with it. I'm trusted on it, and I can get whatever the goddamn hell I want crafted. And it's not fair that I can do that and most people can't.
Yeah.
So
get rid of the cap, but make it account bound.
Nope, that's way worse. Account bound.
Make it account bound. Do it.
My opinion is harvest shouldn't exist, but if it's going to, it's very unfair how accessible it is to me compared to how accessible it is to casuals. If it's going to exist, it should be just allowed to exist, not limited in a fashion that makes it so that your top players with tons of time get to make whatever they want and everyone else gets pretty shafted. That's not fair. I don't like that. So that's, as far as I can tell, those are the two ways. You either take it away or you let everyone have it. And that's...
I agree specifically in the point that it shouldn't exist, because it shouldn't exist in that form, because we all said when the discussion was should it go core or not in the end of Harvest League, we all said there have to be heavy changes for it to be good to be an addition to the game.
Right now it feels like there has like what Balor's saying, like I'm in the same position. Like I have the money and I also have the the trusted status on the Forbidden Trove Discord to be able to very easily get what I want, right? Like too easily. And that's not fair. That's not cool to like everyone.
Still gonna keep doing it though.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's there, and I'm like, well, I could make that item, or I could not make that item. What am I going to do? I'm going to make that item, which is annoying. It's frustrating. The other thing though that we haven't talked about yet, and Catmaster can probably talk a bit more as well, is like it's really good for SSF. Harvest is awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great.
It's great. It just suffers a little bit from the fact that the 10 crafting slots are like for all mods, and so you only automatically take the most valuable ones. I feel like Tarky Cat made that point on his podcast quite strongly, that he felt that there's no space for keeping the convenient stuff like switching a resist from fire to lightning, because it's just not valuable enough to keep it in your limited 10 slots.
That's what I was going to say. Sorry, just quickly. Like I was just going to say, I forgot to mention, like Harvest feels really good. Like this, the solution of just uncapping hoarder crafting stations or something like that again would be really, really good for SSF, and that would feel great. But then, you've got the trade problem. Sorry, I didn't specify that, but for the problem solving, it would be okay, right? I would think it would be okay.
The thing is, what trade problem?
So long as you couldn't multi-box like you can beasts. Like some Korean guy's going to come in and multi-box and duplicate the crafts 6 times and have 6 of them and then price fix them at an X or something.
The thing is, all that removing the cap will do is make it more accessible. It's not going to make you or me able to craft something that I'm not able to craft now. I can make anything now. If it exists if I can make it up in Path of Building, I can just make the piece.
Yeah.
And so all that removing the cap does is open that up to the rest of the player base.
Yeah, it's true.
I still think
you're not wrong. Countbound is interesting because
if you want the best, easiest possible attainable gear, account bound it, and then you have your leveling gear and you have your benefits to SSF, but then you don't have your destroying the economy crippling thing.
But what exactly do you mean when you say account bound?
I mean, if you harvest craft a thing, it then binds it to your account, and
you can't trade the item away anymore.
Correct.
No one would do that. I can't imagine GGG doing that. I mean, it's a possible solution, but I can't imagine them doing it the way that they talk about their item philosophy.
I don't think that would ever be done.
Well, then remove it.
Yeah. I would be okay with it being removed myself because of the disparity and the unbalance right now. I just don't think it's fair. I'd miss it, but it'd be okay for it to be removed.
You know what I'd like? I'd like for unveiling to be removed completely and the harvest mechanic to be the new way that I learn crafting.
Yeah. But it'd take a significant kind of rebalance of everything, but it would be a way to go about it, yeah.
I just don't want to unveil shit anymore, man. I just don't want to unveil shit.
I just don't anyway. I just ignore it.
It's so bad.
It's boring. Yeah.
I'm tempted next league to just, on my personal filter from day one, just turn off unveiled items. I just don't. Or maybe I'll pick them up and I'll just put them in a 2C tab and see who. On day 1, it'll be a 2C tab. On day 2, it'll be an 8C tab. On day 3, it'll be a 20C tab. I'll just.
Ritual's so good for unveiling. What do you mean? Don't you grab all the veiled mods in there and then you don't even have to touch the syndicate? I hate the syndicate. I don't mind unveiling though.
Oh, see, I love the syndicate. Syndicate makes me loads of money.
God, I hate them so much.
Syndicate's fun.
Setting up the syndicate is so satisfying, and then once you've got it set up, it's every 3 maps you make a buttload of money. It's great.
I have
it's just
the opposite opinions of everything Balor says.
That's why I was laughing just then. It's so great. I love it. It's good.
You don't even need me on this podcast. You need someone who just says the opposite of everything Balor says, and that's all my opinions are.
I used to learn how to use it.
I know how to use it. I know how to use it effectively. I hate it. I know how to heist, don't die, open doors. I hate it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. One thing that I was you mentioned multi-boxing beasts and that sort of thing, Slippery. I tried out some beast juicing on the Atlas, 100 maps or 50 maps in one region. I can't remember the regions, and then 50 in the other to see the comparisons between them, and just looking at the profits on red beasts and everything like that. And as a single person, because buying beasts in Trade League is the market is basically made around these people that run 6 accounts to get 6 times the beasts that you normally would every map. And so doing Einhar's solo and trying to make money off it, even though there's some pretty juicy nodes on the tree, it was just it was so bad, which was a little bit disappointing. But yeah, I wonder that it's really hard to.
You mostly use
that, right?
Einhar recipes for yourself, right? You don't use it for profit. The Korean multi-boxers use it for profit.
Yes. Yeah.
It's almost like the gear from Einhar is account bound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't they just do that for Harvest? Problem solved.
I do agree with what Catmaster said though. Like GGG's item philosophy. Well, you know, they change their philosophies a lot of the time as well, and their kind of ethos on things.
Yeah.
But right now, like they would never do that.
Well, on specifics, but not on like core beliefs. They have very a set of core beliefs that they don't really change, as far as I'm aware.
Sure.
And one of them is that they really want items to feel valuable, and a big part of that is the fact that you could, in theory at least, trade them away. But do you think that?
Oh, I know that's a terrible idea. Sorry, go ahead.
What was your terrible idea?
I was like, what if you could like
terrible.
reduce the chance of getting harvest, but then increase the chance of the item rarity? But then I realized there's no way to make it good for people who are casuals and good for people who are like long term.
Yeah, this is
You
the
could,
eternal struggle.
Well,
Yeah.
the
You could
thing
make
that
it
would
more
close
common,
the gap.
but then more common crafts and less common, and it has better stuff. I don't know. Does that make sense? No.
Yeah, make it less common, but have more common stuff, or the other
Or like
way
make
around.
it optional, like make it a tree modifier or something. Like if you take this node on the tree, you encounter harvest 20% of the maps, but you can't encounter past like T1 shit or low tier shit. You know? So then the casuals, if they want to make their casual gear, they can do it at a higher rate. And then if the long-term players want to make their X flips, they can do it at a 5% rate like they're currently doing, but then have access to T4 seeds. I don't know.
It's not a bad tree mod, actually. Yeah. Because right now, spawning harvest still feels pretty bad, even in Hayward Hamlet.
Yeah,
where
it
you get
feels
that
very
extra 5%.
random.
It's
And getting the mod
too
that you
low.
want.
I'd be happy just overall if they nerfed the rarity overall of you know the higher tier harvest mods, but just made it more common. Like I'd love that. I don't know. Maybe you'd lose some of that excitement when you do come across a harvest, right? Because I have that right now every single time. I'm like, oh, harvest. Maybe we'll get something great.
Especially if it's in the middle of a delirium map, like where you got a delirium mirror in the beginning, and then you, oh, nice, and you run into the thing, and the fog is stopped, and you run into the garden, and marvel at the fog,
nice.
and then kill all the additional monsters, and you're like, oh, okay, let's see crafting options. But yeah, like you said,
Holy shit. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for playing the game while you're doing a podcast, but I just dropped an angler's plate, and this has been my goal for like 3 years of playing the game. I'm finally free. I can finally play fucking builds without putting a slither pinch on. Holy shit. I'm so sorry
He's done
playing the game. I'm so sorry for playing the game while you're doing a
So sorry for
It's
playing
amazing.
the game. Balor always
I'm
plays
so
the
sorry.
game when we
Shocked
podcast.
how often I'm playing PoE.
Oh fuck, I didn't get a clip. Shit.
You've got this.
Oh no.
clip.
You've got this.
Yeah,
you got
you've got this. Yeah.
I got this. What a shit clip to have.
Just do a screenshot real quick. It could be a good tweet.
My
or
God.
do you have
That's
Insta?
great.
Wait.
You can do it as a YouTube
I'm
community
shaking.
post.
Here's what
But you can't do a poll
Run-
at the same time.
Run into a pack of monsters, drop it on
Just
the floor,
drop it. Yeah.
back, right? And then run in and kill the monsters, record that.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the webcam from the podcast.
I guess I'll just have to keep doing it until I get another one.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to grind for another one. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, I gotta grind for another one. No
Yeah.
picks didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Your arm cheated.
Every time I see a harvest.
Sorry, what was that?
Inconvenience when I see a harvest garden, because I know mine's full, and so I see them, and half the time I'm like, could I just skip it? Like, could I just not do it?
You can't skip
Like,
it.
I want to deal with it. I can just buy whatever craft I want from the. It's full. It's annoying. I don't want to do it.
Wait, if you can buy any craft, why do you store 10? Then you could sell them,
because
or like, I don't know.
Because they're crafts that I know I'm going to need for gear I plan on making, but not
I mean,
all the crafts. the gear I plan on making, and not the first steps that I'm going to need for the gear I plan on making. So I have to go and buy a bunch before I can use the ones that I've got. And then at
Stop hoarding.
Hoarding, keeping 10.
You can't hoard them. I can't keep enough crafts to make one item.
But that's the point. Like, they either were going to nerf the crafts and let you have as many as you wanted, or they nerf the amount you can have and let you keep the crafts. I'm amazed that Harvest got put into the game as it was in Harvest League and didn't get utterly destroyed like every other league gets destroyed. Except Heist, I suppose.
Well, that's because Heist was destroyed when it existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If no one likes the league, they'll keep it in as it is. The fact that Harvest is in as it was and people liked it and abused the shit out of it then, and the only limiting factor is, I can only store 10 crafts. It's crazy. You should have no ability to store and only use it then, and then you'd have Harvest guys wanting to sell craft and just sitting in a garden for 7 hours trying to make 7x.
It's the affliction. It's the money affliction. That's why I want to go to Trade League. I want not Trade League. I want to go back to SSF. I'm done with the stress of currency. Done. I'm done with it.
I like SSF.
Well, yeah. You've been playing it for ages, eh?
It's just I can't even imagine going back to trade unless there's some significant improvements. That is a question that I still wanted to ask. Do you think if there was an implementation of trade in the game itself where you didn't have to go to Discord or a third-party site, even if it's just for harvest crafts, like, do you think that would improve or like help close the gap between the average player and the high-end crafter, or is it like the price of the crafts that keeps it back? Because from my impression is like what Gazzy said, you have to be the first one on the trade, and you have to be someone that the seller trusts in order to do it, or the other way around, you have to trust the seller.
I mean, you have to trust the seller, but I mean, like, Gazzy's got some weird fucking thoughts about. Like, he was making a helmet, and it's a pretty good helmet. There's like 3 like it in the trade, complete. Like, that's it. But he had like exalted service providers and he's asking for 2 mirrors collateral, and like, that's not how that works.
Exalted service? What?
Yeah,
I think
so on the server,
I think the one was
like the highest tier. That means they're the most trusted people. And like, I will hand that person something worth like any amount. There is no amount of worth in an item that I wouldn't just trade to an exalted service provider without any collateral. Like, that's the point of that system.
Yeah, I think the one thing I heard, like, I need to confirm this, but I did hear from a few people that there was an exalted service provider
there was one.
that
the first one
did a
that's ever
scam, which sucks, right?
That
Yeah,
person
the long
is
con, yeah.
wearing that and hasn't logged in since. We're like 99% sure that it's one of 2 things. Either his account got hacked, but that would involve both the Discord and the PoE account, or he's quit PoE permanently and is RMTing his account, like selling it.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, it's one of those
that's
2
kind of
things,
rough. Yeah,
because he's now wearing the PC scammed.
Yeah,
and just hasn't logged in since. So
yeah,
it's also the first one that's happened since the servers existed on any one of Exalted.
Yeah. I always know that there's a chance of scamming or something like that, but I'm just I'll hand anything to anyone most of the time, unless it was that staff I was crafting. I'm pretty happy with that thing.
I mean, I don't do harvest crafting. Like, I just sell them. Like, I don't buy them. I don't craft myself. I play shit enough builds that I don't need good items. You know, I don't care.
Yeah.
So that's why my opinions on harvest are delete it, make it account bound, ruin it for everyone, make it good for the casuals, fuck the 1%, that kind of shit.
But you're benefiting off the fact that you can sell them.
Yeah, but I don't care. Like, delete them or make them better for... You're like, how do we make them good for casuals? And how do we make it worse for the 1%? Or is that not what you want? I don't know.
close the gap. I'm not necessarily saying that.
But there's no way to close the gap without Bennett making it even more profitable for the 1%. The gap's always going to be there. You're just going to shift it up.
You're not wrong. Yeah. You're really not wrong there. And I, I am the 1%, and I would be happy with it to go, right?
Yeah.
There's not an easy way to make it better for casuals, which doesn't also make it then better for us as well. Which then in turn doesn't make it better.
Yeah.
Dear. But yeah. It's the eternal harvest discussion. I think we're always going to have it until something happens to harvest. It's going to be one of those mechanics. Yeah. Yeah.
They patch in a Maven Orb craft next league. Something like that.
Just some Maven Orb craft gets added to the garden. Jesus Christ.
Just spawns 10 bosses. The entire plot is just all harvest bosses, and you're like, I wonder if I should open this on a hardcore account.
To get the Maven Orb craft, you've got to kill a Shabi, but there's 3 versions of a Shabi at the same time.
Oh no. Uber a Shabi. When's that happening?
I'll fight.
Jizren would be pretty happy about that, right? Yeah.
You were talking about bosses being profitable. What the hell?
Yeah.
They should just remove a Shabi, right? Like,
oh my god. Okay, so that's
here's the thing. I really like the Ashabi fight when you don't have a billion DPS.
Yeah.
But it's not rewarding. It's a gag fight now. It needs to, if you kill a Shabi, there needs to be like 5 or 6 plots for you, like double plots for you to pick from after you kill a Shabi. They need to put garden in there.
Or it just kills your hoarder crafting with random shit.
Please no.
Yeah.
Do it.
Mine's already full.
Yeah, well then.
Yeah, it just randomizes your hoarder crafting station. That'd be fun, right?
Maybe like a few guaranteed tier 4s in there or something.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's only 2 plots to choose, like two doubles, but both of them are all full of like tier 4s and whatnot. So that you can get some of the like really good ones. Well, no, not full of, because that will kill everyone.
That was fun in Harvest, making full tier 4 plots. That was interesting.
Yeah, but we had like proper big dick aura stackers to deal with the full.
Yeah, true.
That'd be rough now.
Yeah, very rough. Yeah, no, Ashabi's not a great fight. There's some good fights in the game, and there's some. Well, no, it's an okay fight. I don't know how I feel about the fight as well. Balor said you like the fight. I don't know.
It's all right.
It seems pretty basic.
Better than the Maven fight,
in my opinion. Better than the Maven, you reckon?
Yeah,
I suck.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I thought the Maven fight was. I mean, I haven't fought it myself, but I've looked at some, and the general opinion was it's a well-designed fight.
Oh, I'm terrible at it. It's actually just memory. Memory's the bit I can't do.
That's just that bit. I can't remember what I did yesterday, let alone 5 minutes ago, let alone a sequence of 9 numbers or whatever.
Yeah. I'm like always going to fail it because I can't do memory, but...
Well, but you can log out there.
Yeah, that's what you should be doing during a good mechanic, is just log out.
I mean... I've long come to accept logging out as like a valid thing in the game.
Like hardcore in PoE is shit because it's I guess PoE is not made for hardcore. It's just there to shut you up, and logging out is an acceptable feature, I suppose, for you guys.
I mean, the game is in terms of accomplishments and longevity in many ways, it's better in hardcore than it is in softcore, in my opinion.
Sure, but it's not like it's made. So here's what I'm saying: like. PoE is not made for hardcore. It's just there to shut you up. So it's like an extra challenge, and it's there for your EPing. Sure. So this Maven fight wasn't made for PoE, or at least the memory game part. Like, at what point, like, did they go in making this boss going, okay, Maven fight, we want to make it really hard, and their first idea was, let's put a memory puzzle in there? Or was that like a late stage, like, oh shit, this isn't going to be hard enough for those, like, top 1%. So let's put a memory thing in there because we know they failed maths or something.
It's a good question. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I
I
just feel like it's
really
out of
enjoy the
place.
fight. Someone like, yeah, I don't know. I loved the fight. I like my goal was to get to Maven. I got there pretty quick, and
I think it's one of the best
played
mind fights I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. Like I have to really concentrate if we're talking specifically about memory, I have to really concentrate during memory, but if I concentrate, then I can do it, right? And I think that's great. I think that's really good. This is totally personal experience of Maven, right? People have different opinions on it, and that's totally cool, but I specifically love the fight, and I think it's Uberworld is really, really good as well, but I think Maven tops it now for me.
This is, at the very least, it's the best fight we've had since Uberelder.
Yes, definitely.
Full burn. Full Cyrus burn.
I mean, burn against what?
Oh, big
Cyrus? Nobody liked. I liked Cyrus when it first came out before they fucking destroyed the whole fight.
So what you're saying, to fix Cyrus, we need to add a memory game.
Yeah, we just need more memory games in the game, is what I'm saying. Yeah, everywhere.
Every time you open a strongbox, you have to do a memory game before it opens.
Cyrus could be fixed by reverting it to its original form, except with the bug fixes in. Like, the storm covering the entrance was shit. Sure, the staircase not being destroyed when he floats up to that area and then suddenly you can't escape the maze. That was crap. All of those things needed to be fixed. But the original design of Cirrus was way better than what we've got now.
I've got the perfect way to fix Harvest. So Harvest Craft. Yeah. When you use a Harvest Craft, it basically turns like, visual. You see all the modifiers like how you would see like veiled modifiers, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you have to remember what those modifiers were, or you brick the item.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Right? Perfect. It's just more memory
When you
games.
enter the grove, you see all the plants, and then 3 seconds later they disappear, and you're like, oh fuck, memory game. You got to recognize.
Oh yeah, okay, that's good as well. Yeah.
What if you could just only have 2 modifiers on an item that were affected by harvest?
Yeah.
So you're destroying the veiled system and then making a veil, like the little squiggly is no longer a veiled unveil. This can be turned into a harvest mod.
Well, no, you could pick any mod or you could add a new mod, but it would show up in like a slightly different color if you edit that mod with harvest. And then that you could only have 2 per item.
Bad idea.
Because now everyone could have it. First, you could remove the cap without breaking the game. Everyone would be able to use it. Making decent to moderate gear would become quite a lot easier. But doing the ridiculous shit that we can do becomes quite a lot harder. That closes the gap.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
Sorry, I missed that the crucial part of that. Your suggestion was to limit the amount of times you can harvest craft an item?
No, to limit the amount of mods that are allowed to be harvest crafted on an item to 2.
Okay, that's similar.
Yeah, 2 mods.
So I could add remove crit over and over again until I get a tier 1 crit. And then I could org another crit to get crit multi on it. But now I can't do anything else with that weapon. I've added my tier 1 crit and crit multi, but that's I'd have to get it to, 4 perfect mods without the crit first, and then take it to the garden to finish off that last 2. That would be reasonable.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Yeah.
It feels like that bridges the gap. Like, I can't make a disgusting item anymore.
And then harvest craft
more
wouldn't
casual
really be.
People can make
Harvest craft would be
good.
used among the casuals more often early on until some guy comes along with his finally 4 perfect item and is like, oh shit, now I can finally harvest craft this to be amazing. Compared to like starting with a base from the beginning and being like, I'm gonna sit in my grove until this is a mirror item.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
And like,
send it to Chris.
If you fuck up the item or whatever, you could still just scour and start again because it's not like it's a fractured mod. Like, you could just get rid of it. And you could still remove with harvest because that mod's gone now, but you wouldn't be able to just infinitely add whatever you want to it. You could only add the 2 things you want. Could remove something shit, but
I mean, there's a lot of crafts that wouldn't work with that, or at least would feel shitter with it. But yeah, sounds good. Perfect balance. Look at that. You've done it.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Where's the memory game, though?
I'm not sure. There might be still some implications that we...
There probably would,
can't foresee right now.
You've just described better veiling. That's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Remove veiling, add that. We're done.
Yeah. That's kind of true. I like that. Keep that one in the think tank, Bella. It's good.
Trying to come up with a whole. Like, I'm trying to poke holes into your theory. I don't have the thinking power right now.
Ways to make it worse, like you could then
like a memory game.
If you did the like a memory game. That's my answer for everything now. What do you mean, like a memory game? If you like fractured, if you did the fracture craft or whatever, would it keep your harvest? And it hit like a harvest mod, would it keep it as a harvest item that is then fractured, and then you could only craft 1 thing on it? Or would you then free up a slot and craft 2 things?
It would then become a fractured mod instead of a harvest mod, and then you'd be able to harvest again. Because
that sounds broken.
Broken things are fine as long as they come with risk of bricking the item, like fracture does.
Yeah,
if you fracture something, even if you get the best kind of fracture, which is like fracture or prefix, that's still 1 in 3 chance of success, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's the thing, and there's a bit of risk that kind of innately comes in with that idea as well, in terms of if you've got 2 modifiers on the item, but one of the modifiers is amazing, harvest crafted, and then the other one was, say, like an org fire, and you wanted to hit something, but you hit like a different modifier that was difficult to remove because of your weapon or something like that, you might have to risk some sort of annul or something like that, right? So there's, rather than just like keep adding more mods or something like that, you've still got that risk of like having to remove 1 specific modifier and keep the other from harvest, which is good. That risk needs to stay with items.
I think that's an important point, actually. I think there's too many states where there's no, like, too many situations where there's not a fail state with harvest crafting.
Now there's there's very few select cases where there's fail states. Well, there is a lot, but there's, with knowledge of harvest and all of the harvest crafts, there is so many ways to save items, I guess, is a way to put it.
People have figured out how to not brick their items, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Usually the fail state is just, well, now it's going to cost you another 4x to fix.
Yeah, which is not a fail state. Like, I some people might be against this, but I'm very for there being significant fail states in crafting in the game. I like that. As a player who plays a lot, I think that's fun. But that might be a bit more annoying for casual players. I'm not sure. But yeah.
No, I really enjoy fail states in general in this action RPG genre. I have to bring up Last Epoch crafting for that, where you add up, the more you modify an item with materials, the more likely or the more unstable the item becomes, until it eventually just fractures, and then you won't be able to modify it any further.
Yep.
That's a really cool system.
Yeah.
I do really like that system.
Yeah, that's great, actually.
But I have no idea whether that would work in Path of Exile.
Wouldn't translate, but still a very good system, though.
Yeah.
Maybe they could learn something from it. Adapt it in aspects.
Valor's harvest idea is really good, and I'm all for it, but it's not going to happen because dev time, and they just can't fit it into their schedule.
Yeah.
Probably. It's like people wanted the I want a little doll that shows me what MTX looks like before I buy it. That would take 10 to 20 hours of dev time, and then it would also remove one entire employee's job. So if you want to make someone lose their job, by all means, get your little shiny MTX doll.
Yeah, but it would also make it less of a problem for people.
Trailer videos. If anything, okay, fine, it might make his job easier. It's got more free time to make more trailer videos.
It would make
like, hey, we've released a rabbit pet. Here's a 17-second clip of a rabbit. That's gone then, because then all you have is like a little shiny rotatable model, right?
With a rabbit on the head.
Yeah. No, like a pet. What?
Yeah, no, like, I'm just wondering how you put a pet on a doll.
No, I mean like a little like model viewer, not like a little doll in your hideout that you put your clothing.
Oh, okay. I thought like a mannequin where you can put on MTX, like a unisex doll.
Sure,
right.
Why not? That'd be hard because, well, they'd have to make like a new model. Because don't they make all the MTXs different sizes and shapes depending on what model you're playing?
Yeah, probably. I guess you could just have like have the doll have like 7 variations for the different classes.
Yeah. Which is, more dev time and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like having having a character model in your hideout. I mean, would it really be that hard? I mean, it's impossible to say how hard it would be. But
the one thing we're not talking about is that they wouldn't do it anyway, because being able to more accurately view what you're purchasing before you purchase it,
then you would notice how badly all the MTX clip with one another.
Could also be a
Yeah, it would. It would be bad for their money. Whether that's
You think that's really one of the big factors, because you can see pretty accurately how things.
I'm pretty certain that would be a big factor. Yeah.
Because they showed pretty accurately in the reveal video, but do you think that it's a big factor that you unwrap it, so to say, and you see how it looks on your character exactly?
If you could have hands on with that and look at it yourself and everything like that, and really see it and all that kind of stuff, right? It would, I think it would significantly reduce people purchasing specific MTXs.
But people purchase the MTX because they want to look cool when they enter town zones.
Yeah.
I've never done that in my life.
You've never looked cool.com? That's just forever? I don't know why I said
I've never bought any MTX because I want to look cool in a town zone.
Oh, yeah. That's accurate.
In fact, because you never go into any town zones.
You buy MTX Why do solo self-found players buy MTX?
Because solo self-found town instances are shared?
Yeah, okay. That's why he said in town. That's the only place he meets people.
Exactly. That's where I get my only social contacts in these trying times.
Yeah.
But for me, at least, I've almost stopped wearing MTXs. Sometimes after I've been playing a character for like a week, I might remember to put MTX on. Because I just look like phasing all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Might as well.
It doesn't matter what I wear, I look like phasing.
Phasing sucks.
It doesn't matter what I wear, I look like phasing, and every character has phasing, so like I want to make phasing invisible so that I can see the MTXs, because I love MTXs.
Yeah, solution to that right there.
Didn't they say that they're going to remove that, at least for the Raider, the permanent phasing?
Yeah, but when do you not have permanent phasing? That's not a Raider problem, that's an everything problem. Raider just doesn't need a flask.
The flask is not permanent phasing, that's what I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, not quote unquote permanent, but like in practice while mapping, it's permanent. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So does phasing work in town? Like perma phasing? Is that what they fixed? Or are going to fix?
I don't know.
They won't fix it in your map because it improves like server performance, but they'll fix it in town because
phasing improves server performance?
No, it doesn't.
That's the first time I heard of that.
No, it doesn't, because I've still got all my MTXs that have to be loaded. And then those things have to be edited to be phasing. I want phasing, I want the visual appearance of phasing to be gone completely. I will pay for the remove phasing
Don't
MTX.
say that, because they'll
so
put
that
it as
I
a
can
consumable in a loot box.
Yeah.
I don't care how we get. Don't put in a loot box that's gambling. Give me a place I can pay to get rid of my phasing, and I will pay. Just let me get rid of my phasing so I can start using MTXs so that I look cool again. Come on,
Al
guys.
wants to pay for not character slots, but harvest craft slots, so he can have an advantage and get his.
Oh, that would be so
Oh, no.
RMT.
Oh no!
No.
Balor would pay for that. If it was an option, you don't want it to be an option, but if it was an option, you would pay for it. But then the game's pay to win, but it is already set to pay to trade.
Yeah, but anyone who plays the amount of time that we play would pay for it. I mean, you'd be stupid not to pay for such a massive improvement.
I don't want loot pets, but I would pay for one given the option, but I don't want them in the game. But if they went in the game and you had to pay for it, I'd have to buy it.
Loot pets exist. They're called like aura bots. You give them like 10% of your map profits, and they pick up everything.
Where can I buy one of those?
You just get them. They just show up and go, "Hey, can I aura bot for you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
Fuck that. I will split 50-50 if I get a support to come with me and loot.
You will. They'll come. They'll show up. They're going to be at your door now, thirsty for that Balor loot.
Yeah,
you better be on an AU server if you're coming for that. I'm just saying.
I know a couple. I'll send you some.
It takes me 2.5 times as long to loot my map as it does to run it. I have to do a separate. I have a character swap.
Oh, I watched that the other day.
Come back through my map and loot.
Oh man.
I watched that, and the looting does take more than twice as long as the initial clear, despite it being like a fully delirious map.
And like, it's a strict filter too. Like, I'm not picking up that much.
You pick up alterations, but like I would pick them up as well.
Yeah, but they're like 2.5 to 1. I'm walking out with
what?
like 100.
2.5?
Yes,
I'm walking out with like 180 alts. I can't not pick them up.
Is that because chaos are so useless, or is that because the alterations are so good?
Watchstones, yeah.
Oh,
Watchstones are really hard to roll, and people need 32 of them.
I thought 32 alterations. I was like, okay, that's oddly specific. Why do you need exactly 32 alterations to roll the watchstone?
And apparently also 4 to 1 now. I'm walking out with like nearly 200 per map. So turning those off would cut into my profits quite a bit.
Yeah. Are the zombies in your pickup build? Are they do they do damage, or are they just meat shield zombies?
Just meat shield zombies.
Okay. Because I had someone ask the other day about zombies.
I think they do like 200,000 or 300,000 per zombie, but pretty much an irrelevant amount.
I was just making sure that I didn't tell people garbage when they asked whether you could play zombies as your main damage dealer. I mean, it's not the most favorable choice, but you can definitely do it.
Yeah. Mine aren't, but you can. They're also, my zombies are on meat shield, so like they don't really leave me. I have to go up and kiss a mob before they'll start attacking it. They're just there to keep me alive.
Good old meat buddies. I love meat shield. It's great.
Like the addition of that gem as well. Very nice.
Yeah.
That's a separate note.
In order to cover a little bit more ground on the topic list, have you guys found more favorable Atlas passive setup strats than the ones that you had in the beginning after the first week of the league?
Passive setup? So you mean like trees?
Like on the Atlas trees, like everyone was raving about the Harbingers, and
I'm currently testing strong boxes in Glenelg cans at the moment. They're looking decently profitable on a medium investment, but not crazy. Like that, definitely nowhere near Harbinger and that sort of thing. Like I'm rolling the sextant mod for the 500% increased quantity. I'm using ambush scarabs. I'm running in tower as well, so I started using div scarabs as well. Ambush on the map device. So there's like a minimum of 12 strong boxes a map, and then using monstrous treasure and bountiful traps as well, prophecies. So you can get up to like 50 something in a map if everything procs at the same time, which is nice.
Sounds super juicy.
Yeah, those ones, like the monstrous treasure, even on medium investment, they net a lot back basically because monstrous treasure are 4 chaos at the moment, maybe 6 chaos if you buy in bulk. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's fun. I don't know. I played around with bestiary. I want to try a bunch of different things though.
Yeah, let me check my list. I'm testing Harbinger. I'm gonna farm the patient card. I'm gonna skip that one. I'm gonna skip that one. Something about Overgrown Ruin. I'm gonna do Perandus. There's a good meme in Perandus that I want to try, but I'll tell you later. Once it's
Wait, how later? How much later? Later in this podcast, or just later when you found out?
Like a month from now when I find out. Also, there's this thing that
we can't make the podcast last that long.
No. I found a thing in Legion League that was broken and it never got patched, so I'm gonna try that again and see if it's profitable still. Now that actually I shouldn't specify, but yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with passive skill trees, but it should still theoretically be horrifically broken, so I want to try it. Yep. But yeah, I want to try all the money-making things and just see what's good. The one that was a scam was invasion bosses drop additional valuable item. Because I don't know what GGG considers valuable, but I don't consider maybe 10 silver coins in a stack. That's one of the options.
It's 80% of the time it's a 5 link. It's just a 5 link.
6 rockets. Corrupted uniques for some reason.
Valuable items. Let's go.
It's such a troll. I was really hoping that there'd be a little bit more interesting stuff going on there, but it's just.
But the quality ranges between 1 and 10.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh man. Yeah. There's some. Hang on. Yeah.
I'm just looking for strats. Looking for strats to yoink after I'm done leveling my winter orb and I'm done getting the harvest crafts that I want, and then I'm free to do whatever I want on the Atlas, and then I'm looking for something to do. I mean,
I'll try the Strongbox thing that Badger's doing. One of his viewers told me about it, so I'm like, shit, I'm gonna have to try that. Or maybe not.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's pretty cool. Like, it's lots of fun. Proccing Monstrous Treasure is really cool. But basically what I'm doing right now is a budget version of what people do in delirious map farming anyway in Glenack cans. Like, that's been a big thing that people have been doing is running Monstrous Treasure, but running 100% delirious crazy tower maps as well. Which I'm just losing money not even putting even 20% delirious on these maps, but that's not the experiment. Which I'm kind of annoyed that I'm not doing that, because I would just be making much more money. But I just want to see the profit just from, the strong boxes themselves without, delirium adding anything else in there. But I could just be making more. Oh well.
Science.
Stick to my science. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. For science. Do it for science.
Blight looks kind of interesting in Valdo's, I think it is, right? Valdo's Rest.
Yeah.
I think that's the one with like extra reward chests and everything like that, and then with like not sextant modifiers, with watchstone modifiers as well. That could be pretty interesting, because you can buy up a bunch of the enchanted maps that drop from Lyra Arthane. Because maps can just have a 10% chance to drop with like an enchant on it that gives an extra blight. Which is nice, and so you can just run those in there. Oh, that could be interesting. Maybe that's my next one. Maybe Blight's my next one. We'll see.
Anyone tried the Breachstone stuff where you drop Breachstone splinters have like a percent chance to drop as a full breach stone instead?
My friend is he's buffing everything he hates about the game. So he hates breach in its current form. So he's buffing all of that, and he hates blight, so he's buffing all of that. In his mind, he wants to make everything he hates enjoyable so that he likes the game as a whole. He's no longer playing PoE. He's going to play something else because he got bored. So do what you want. Like,
This sounds like a...
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible plan. Like, maybe
a terrible plan. Instead of doubling down on what you like, you actually force yourself to do what you don't like.
No. He wasn't forcing himself. Just like, if everything I hate is somehow better, maybe I'll enjoy the core game. And he's gone. Rest in peace.
So it didn't work out.
Yeah. I kind of get the idea, but
now that you can lean into anything, is to pick the things you enjoy and go and do those.
Yeah. Just do them more. Yeah.
I no longer feel guilty for skipping things. Like, I'm like, oh, blind, I might as well do it now. I'm just like, oh, fuck you, Cassie. You have like 5 minutes. I have to sit here at a portal waiting for shit to spawn.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're like, I don't want this.
It's great.
The breach nodes, I don't know. They seem really underwhelming, but I haven't juiced for like XP or something. Like, they could be good if you crazy juice your maps and for like XP stuff. But I don't know. Especially the breach stone modifier seems just like a really poor man's version of the Legion emblem modifier.
The number's so much worse. I haven't directly compared them yet.
They are, yeah.
But then aren't breaches much more common than legions?
No, not really. No. You can
do the one that's like, wait, is it when you kill a boss you can drop a pure breach stone? Is that what it is for breaches? If a boss shows up.
Well, there's
like,
one...
I'm just looking at it now. So breach bosses defeated in areas have 5% chance to drop a breach stone. So the bosses, you're only still going to get a breach stone 1 in 20 times. Then on top of that, 9% chance to be charged, 3% to be enriched, and 1% to be pure. Yeah. So 1 in 2,000 breach bosses that you're killing. No, 200, right? Sorry, 20. Yeah, no, 1 in 2,000 breach bosses that you're killing in a map gets you a pure stone. Does that sound good?
Not when they're so cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can do Legion and just have a 1% chance for the timeless splinters to just drop as full emblems.
Which is a 100% more multiplier, just on that node.
Yeah, then it doesn't feel too good.
Node that doubles the reward you get from Legion.
Yep.
Boom, go. Like, that's
fantastic. Yeah. Within their grasp, which is what that node is called, the Breachstone one, it just seems extremely underwhelming compared to every other node on the tree, on all of the trees, almost. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see some buffs to it, but yeah. Just don't buff up breaches unless, like, maybe it's good for XP. Like, I haven't crunched the numbers. Maybe it's good with the XP nodes, but...
But not for the returns. That's disappointing.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's really terrible for returns. Close. Yeah, no, they're all pretty bad. Just looking at them now.
I just did, for the first time, did Belfry Kitava while Maven was watching, and Maven summoned a copy of him, and it was a tiny little Kitava in front of Kitava. Like,
some of the Maven stuff's pretty good, yeah.
And he has legs.
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least they're more easily visible.
It's pretty great. What else? What else have we talked about? What's that topic list got?
I haven't opened it.
I haven't opened it. Yeah, I mean, you wrote it. You probably ingested it, and you're.
What are you running on, like, the middle tree?
Oh yeah, I'm constantly changing it. Actually,
I think I've spent 1,000 chaos changing that tree this league.
Yeah. I don't know. They're all pretty cool. I'm really happy with that middle tree.
Let's go a different way. Are there any nodes on the middle tree that you don't see ever taking?
For me personally, the Watchstone modifiers and the additional use of sextants. I don't know.
Wait. The 25% increased effect of Watchstone modifiers.
Yeah, because I'm not caring about Watchstones much. It's good. I know it's amazing. It's just not what I'm doing, right?
It's literally an extra watchstone. It's like you've got
Yeah.
5 watchstones in every area.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's just not what I do. I like.
Well,
So what do you do?
I haven't alt rolled Watchstones. I've placed random Watchstones in my Atlas. This is what I'm talking about. Being a lazy gamer. I just yeah. Balor's dying over here.
Allies? You gain
That
one
was the kind
additional
of guy that
Atlas
rolls every
mission
map.
fee. Imagine that. One additional Atlas mission per master per day. That one, I'm never taking that. That's
I'm
no
using that. What do you
situation in
mean?
which I want that.
That's an extra
I'm
amount of master missions when you kill a boss. Okay, I burn through like.
I'm using it for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I use the master mission on every single map forever.
Right.
Like I don't, and I've got 28, 59, 77, 47, and 59 left in just my reds for master missions.
Yeah, but now you get
and I use one every map. You gain master missions quicker than you can use them. So
yeah, but number go up, make feel good.
You don't gain them quicker than you can use them.
How
I
do
would
you gain
disagree
them
with
quicker
that.
than you use them? Well, you get one daily, and then we get. But you don't get one every single map, right? Like not without the.
no, but every now and then you hit harvest, and then you get like 14, 20.
Right. You get the infused ones. That bullshit.
So just sacrifice maps for master missions thing.
Yeah.
That alone has kept me in tons of master missions. I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't run out.
Yeah, you do get a lot. Like I'm sitting on, I think, like 100 on all of them at the moment. But I'm not running them every map and everything like that as well. Like I'm saving them up for some projects and everything like that. But I did notice when I was using bestiary master missions, like I would get a lot of bestiary master missions back. But yeah, it wasn't, I wasn't sustaining them. Even with like the Zun and the close allies node for the additional mission on completion and the extra extra 10%. Yeah, the animal companion in Lyra Arthane as well. I was running them in there, so you get an extra 10% from there and the middle. You weren't sustaining them, but yeah, you were getting a few back. I ran 100 and I probably got 40 back in those 100. So yeah,
which is still pretty good, but
it's still pretty
nice.
good. Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, if I'm as Slippery said, if I'm just running a ton of maps, I just take the that Zana one because you just get more master missions.
Yeah. Fair enough. I don't see myself ever running it, but fair enough.
Do you reckon the 5% extra chance at a synthesis or 0.5% chance extra at a synthesis boss map drop is worth it compared to like the normal chance? But do you reckon it's worth it?
I mean, I reckon if you've got a full tree and you're just doing general mapping, that there's nothing else worthwhile doing with those last 2 points.
Yeah, probably worth it. What, like one in 200 maps?
I mean,
extra.
Quiet dog. I think probably I would, if I wasn't doing fractured maps, I'd probably change to the sextant modifiers. Have one additional use, and that neural pathways, the one for synth maps, is probably what I'd drop for it.
Yeah.
But right now I run like a +1 to woke level, and the Elder and Shaper Guardian thing, and the neural pathways, and then I run the Elder and Shaper get assisted thing because I run bosses sometimes on my Necromancer, and I just don't feel like changing it anymore. But like those are the only 2 points for me that might change. Like the Guardian's Aid, if I'm not doing Guardians, don't need it. And I could give up neural pathways if I had something else I wanted.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I tried to farm a lot in the extra the extra synthesis modifiers. I tried to farm a bit of those synthesized maps, and I didn't get anything extra from it. Like they're good modifiers if you hit something good, but it seems like really RNG. Like the extra, what is it? The 3 synthesized implicit modifiers on unique items that you drop from the bosses, and then the 1% chance to drop synthesized items as well. Like it seems really good, but I dropped nothing. I don't know.
The trick is that you have to treat it the same as bossing. You have to do all 4 different ones and the invitation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
then go over and over
How
them.
much do they all cost? They're like 40C each, right?
I think
Okay.
50C,
I think.
yeah.
50C,
It's just a lot.
200C, 200 times 100. Oh no. That's not good.
That's 20,000.
Money. 210. Oh yeah, I don't have that much money yet. That's at like, yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah.
200x?
Look, Jim's here like,
Anyone want to fund me 200x?
could I do 100 of them?
I could do 100, like 100 of each time thing, and then 100 of each Maven thing, and then loot from. I'd fucking do that.
The problem is to do it in that you have to do it in order. You have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 invitation, 1, 2, 3, 4 invitation.
Mm.
Yeah, I could do that.
Which I love, by the way. Just touching on that again as a loop, to just do like all the Elder Guardians, all the Shaper Guardians,
Yeah.
all the this, all the Breach Lords, and then go invitation, 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 invitation.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. I
Again.
like I've done that for a couple of days. It was pretty fun. One thing that I want to ask though is the drop rates on those invitations, just in general. Like I run as many Shaper Guardian maps as I do Elder Guardian maps. Like my rotation cycle seems to be the same there, and then even Breach Lords. Like I don't run a lot of Breach Lords, but the drop rate of the invitation from the Breach Lords seems really high. Elder Guardians seems pretty high. Shaper Guardians, I have dropped 2 in total. Of their invitations. So I don't know if anyone else, like Balor, I don't know if you've been dropping them or not, or
I feel like all of mine are the same. Like I
man,
have to
I must be so unlucky.
5.
Yeah,
Like once every 5 runs of a boss, I have
Yeah.
to buy an invitation. So I have like an 80% self-sustain. This is
yeah.
not
No,
quite.
I literally dropped 2 of them ever. Which is that's interesting. Okay.
I've done 4 Shaper Guardians because I've been ignoring them, and I've gotten 3 of those invitations.
Oh damn! So it's just me then. Oh, what the heck?
Just your RNG. Your Cyrus and the Shaper Guardians aren't it. Just don't do them and do something else.
Undo something else. Yeah, and I've got like I think 30 feared invitations sitting there from running a lot of Elder and Shaper themselves. So I don't think I'm going to get through those. I might sell those. Yeah. No, but the modifiers on the middle of the tree, they're really cool. All of them have their place, I think. I don't see any that you wouldn't take for any specific. Well, they all have their specific uses, and they all work pretty well in those uses, I would say, which is good.
Yeah,
Just for most of them on the tree in general. But yeah,
it's just a lot of pick your own end game, which is great.
it's really cool. Yeah, very happy with it. Oh, a little bit of a squeak there. That was nice.
I feel like I'm not going to get any time for League of Legends this league.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm too interested in PoE.
You're going to be playing my private league as well, aren't you? So, yeah, which everyone's going to play, right? Huh?
Yeah, this is your private league this time around. Any spoilers already?
Yeah, I could give spoilers. We're still ironing some stuff out. It's going to happen the last week of February is when it starts. So like maybe 26th, 27th of February, I think. The weekend, basically, on that last week. And my leagues every season, I guess, or every league, my private leagues are massive team versus massive team based gameplay. So you get randomized onto a team, and then you get points for like levels or delving or boss killing or that sort of thing that go towards your team total points. and it's like all automated. Where like we've got the whole system working and everything like that, which is really cool. And so this time around, the last two ones we've done 2 BPLs, is what we're calling them, Badger Private Leagues. And this one we're going from 2 teams to 4 teams, which is going to be interesting.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
Because we're expecting
me to be on a team with a friend, though.
Sorry.
Makes it far less likely for me to be on a team with a friend.
Yes, it does. And, we've had lots of discussions about that, and I'll talk about that. This is not the place to go too much into that. But, 4 teams, mainly because we want to keep the community vibe of those teams good. And if the teams keep getting bigger, like every league just keeps getting exponentially bigger that we do for it, which is pretty cool. But, like, if we were to run the next league with just 2 massive teams, that kind of mob mentality comes into place and the community aspect of those teams drops. So that's one of the reasons for doing 4. But anyway, 4 teams fighting against each other, and it also makes sense in the theme of this expansion, I guess you could say. We're theming it around 4 different things in this expansion, which is pretty cool. But yeah, super fun. You earn points for leveling, you earn points for getting unique sets from endgame bosses. This time around, you get points for delving. You get points for being the first team to kill an endgame boss as well. So yeah, it's going to be really cool. Lots of fun.
Are we gonna limit classes again?
Yes, but it's going to be not as limited. Every team's going to have a few more choices.
Overlap.
Yeah,
overlap.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Right. Yeah.
I have one more question about it, and that's what do you do in order to keep it motivating for the when there's 4 teams? Obviously, when you have 2 teams, then the underdog team is always competing with the tier 1 with the top team. But if you have 4 teams, if the lowest team, what keeps them in the game? What gives them the perspective that they could become the leaders still when they're so far behind?
That's the experiment this time around. And where it is an experiment going with 4 teams. Where like maybe this will go well and maybe it won't, and we'll go back to 2 teams. But we have to try it. The biggest thing is we're putting a lot of work into the point balancing system to kind of make it fair on all of the teams. Like, you're just going to be getting points if you're playing just from like leveling, but you also, you're going to get more points if you communicate as a team together and work as like a group self-found league, basically.
Just as an example for anyone who hasn't done one of these leagues before, the last time we did one last league, we got Trickster on the team I was playing in. And so a lot of people made Toxic Rain Tricksters for obvious reasons. And so there ended up being a small group of people who were collecting all of the things that they would need from the whole team. They would just run in, grab essences and crafting materials and whatnot, and then would just show back up and deliver you like a +3 chaos.multi rolled linked bow. Right? Like, you would just get it back, because that was the whole point of it being on a team, is some people would just be like, I'm really good at crafting and I really enjoy it, and I'm not really super interested in playing the game right now. And so they would just become crafters for the team, and they would just make really good items and just hand them out to people. Right? Like, there's so many different things to do when you're on a team-oriented play style like that you can hyper focus on one thing that you really like doing, and you can do that for your entire team. And that's just a really cool, very different thing.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing that we're trying to drive with this, is like playing the game differently, playing the game for your team and not just for yourself, like using your skills and using your enjoyment in the game to kind of help the whole team. And yeah, as Balor was saying, there's some crazy stuff has come out of it. Like, there's so many stories about those sorts of things that have happened just from the previous 2, and I'm very excited for this one as well. This seems like it's turning into an ad for the league. Well, it kind of is. I mean, I'm kind of taking over the podcast.
I literally put it on the topic list.
Yeah. Oh, you did too. Oh, nice.
When is the Badger Private League Sell me a word picture of how cool it's gonna be.
It's going to be pretty cool. You should check it out. It's basically going to be announced in video form on my YouTube, which will happen at the end of this week that we're starting, basically. So maybe 6-7 days, there'll be like a full announcement, and then you'll be able to sign up for it. And as long as you sign up, you're probably going to get into the league. We don't limit it, you know.
Yep.
So yeah, have some fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be really cool. 3 weeks' time is when it starts, basically. Around the time where the league itself starts really dying, when people stop playing.
As far as you know.
But it's still before the gauntlet.
Yeah, true. Yeah. As far as I know, I can't say anything about that myself.
I meant along the lines of, as far as you know, this league's going to die, kind of thing.
True.
Yes. As far as you know on your end, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we only just like 2 or 3 days ago went below the peak player base of last league.
Yeah.
So who knows if it'll be this has got some longevity in it.
Yeah, well, and
we can pack so much longevity in this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even 1 month into the league. Oh yeah.
It feels like I'm a week in.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay, for me with the move, it actually feels longer than just 3 weeks. But at the same time, it feels like the time that I've actually played feels less than a week. Yeah.
Where'd you move
to?
Where'd you move to? How far'd you move?
Same city, just new apartment.
Me too.
Better. Yeah, I saw the high quality environment that you're in.
JPEG background.
Actual daylight.
Yeah.
Not a true gamer.
I was in a room before, kinda. Just had blockout curtains, and now I don't.
Yeah, windows are good. Yeah, I moved at the start of the year to a place that had, well, windows, which is nice.
There are no windows in this room. I only deal in artificial light, sir.
Yeah, maybe that's why you had the migraine.
No, that's because I went out in the morning. I had to go around like in the sun.
Sun does that. Yeah.
I had to put a trailer on the car. I had to lift things, put them in the trailer. Like, yeah, no.
Sounds like my move. That was terrible. With the COVID restrictions, I wasn't able. Like, I can't get helpers. Like, you're only allowed to do a move as a private person. Like 2 people. Like 1 person moving and 1 person helping. Like 2 households can come together. If you're a company, you can get you can work with 5 people moving a house for someone if you're getting paid for it and you actually have a signed up company, tax registration and stuff like that. If you're a private person, get fucked. You don't get shit. But I wanted to quickly ask SlipperyJim, are you doing a private league as well? Are you doing some hobo action into what's the end of the league? Anything planned?
Hobo, but I think the ritual's far too easy for hobo, and if we want to do hobo, it has to be painful. So probably not.
Well, you could do a refined version of hobo. It has to be unique and corrupted.
I really want like GGG to add hobo as a modifier, like uniques only equipped as a modifier in private leagues, because then I can actually do a trade league.
Yeah.
I can run my little scraper bot that can detect cheaters, and I can just void them from getting prizes. But in a trade hobo league, there's nothing stopping people from cheating and then just giving all their like cheat things to some other friend to then try and cheat their way up. And people will do it because people
some other friend.
Yeah. Well, people have friends. People game systems.
No, I meant like a secondary account.
Yeah, no, sure. Yeah. That being said, watching last time I did a hobo league, watching the cheaters be ahead in the first, like the leaderboards, like the 3 cheaters or so were at the top of the leaderboards because they were using items, whereas the hobos were naked punching things. As soon as the first hobo got a unique, it just went, and he overtook the guys with full rare gear, and he just blasted it, and it was so fucking satisfying to see like a guy with like a belt and an amulet and a hat just destroying the leaderboards from like guys in full rare outfit.
That's great.
But I'd do it again for that.
The true
I want to do a
hobo
straight hobo, but
I like that.
Maybe I will, but like no rewards or something. But probably not this league. Too much stuff to do. Fucking, I gotta join Badgers League, have a good time. Who knows?
I want GGG to add death information to the API so that I can do like a semi-hardcore league, like a punish core where you lose points in the point system from dying, or like it becomes like a some sort of intricate point system where your total amount of points gets divided by whatever 100 plus the number of deaths that you have, or something like that. So at a certain point, it's just not worth anymore to play. You continue to die. That would be cool, but at the moment it's not possible because you can't track deaths, except for experience loss. But then if you zerg a boss and you don't gain experience between the deaths, then you couldn't record the multiple deaths.
Yeah, there's a lot of things for this private league. We have a lot. We're looking a lot into the whole API system and what can actually be tracked and what can't. There's so many things in the game that I wish were a part of the API system. Deaths is for the ethos of my league, probably not, because I want to make it as appealing to the casual gamer as possible, and that's pretty restrictive. But it still would be pretty cool to be able to track deaths automatically.
Yeah, well, but in your system, it would also enable griefing. If a team would get dragged down by the amount of deaths that the team members have, then there could be just team members who just constantly keep corpse rolling something in order to drag down their own team.
Exactly.
You kind of want to avoid that.
Terrible. First team to 100 deaths gets points. They're just killing themselves in the first act.
That's the private league that we need from SlipperyJim.
I've done that before. Fucking SSF private league with like a reward system.
That would be really interesting.
The death race.
In BPL, if we were able to have something like that, but like make it crazy, right? So if a team was like losing by a lot, they're like, all right, we're switching gear. We now have to get 100,000 deaths in the next 2 days to get this bonus point, so everyone just starts Zerg rushing. That would be so funny, but yeah. Oh well.
It'd have to be like a disgustingly high number, so you need literally a group of people to just start like dying as much as possible. You'd
also game it pretty easily, like just grab a mana flask or a mana flask with removing life and then just go CI and then just like keep jumping into a map and dead or just like a zone.
There's so much min-maxing to this.
Yeah, there's actually min-maxing. What were you saying, Slippery?
I said do a goal of kill Awaken at 8, and then once you've killed it, val your gear afterwards. So like kill Awaken at 8 can be a goal, but then have gear capable of killing Awaken at 8, and then once you've done it, val your gear and you get some bonus points. So then they'll try and kill Awaken at 8 with shitter gear so they don't lose their good gear, and then it's making it harder. I don't know. I can think of tons of sadistic shit for you if you want.
Yeah.
10 points for killing Awakener and 40 points for killing Awakener, and then immediately valing everything you're wearing.
Yeah.
Every piece of gear, just blah.
All your gems as well. Bring in a fucking inventory of vows and do it on the spot.
Yeah.
If only we could like track that and
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we're limited because we have we've got a pretty good team, but like a relatively small team that we don't want to have to manually check almost anything.
Yeah.
We are going to do manual checks for this new league, but that's only for first to kill bosses in the league, and that's it. Everything else is going to be automated because Sorry?
You can track first kills?
Not by the API.
No, but they can be server announced.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but that's entering the zone, not killing.
No, killing can be server announced.
Yeah.
If you have...
If that's a goal of the league, yeah.
If it's a goal of the league, yeah. But we
you
can't set
might want specific ones.
Yeah. We can't set it. All of those kind of name in lights pop-ups, that's always entering the zone.
Cool.
Sometimes you'd have, for like the Cirrus
Hit me
League
up
and that sort of thing.
I think that can be done.
You reckon?
Yeah.
We've done some digging. We've done quite a bit of digging, but I don't know. Maybe it can.
Hit me up later.
Oh. All right.
Yeah. I think that can be done.
We'll see. That would be pretty cool if it could be, because then we wouldn't have to manually check. But yeah. Yeah. Going to have to go soon.
Yeah,
Sorry
no, I
to,
was gonna. We
say,
already
but
did
yeah.
the part where everyone gets to plug a little bit of their content, and now we just want to ask Balor what we can be hyped to see from his upcoming projects.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know what I'll be doing. Playing fractured maps until I'm rich.
Sounds
Self-cursed
good.
Headhunter Wonder is
Is there
incredibly
a
fun to
countdown
play.
for League of Legends? Yeah, is that just permanently running on like the bottom of your stream or something? No? Oh, okay.
No.
Guess I won't watch your stream anytime soon. Gotta wait for League of Legends.
Yeah,
Nah,
we're
nah.
all big League of Legends fans, especially when it comes to Balor's gameplay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
may end up solo self-found towards the end of this league just because I need more practice at progressing the new Atlas system in the most efficient way so I can add that into the Atlas guide before next league starts. But other than that, I have no idea.
That sounds good. Yeah, I've started completing my softcore Atlas now, and I'm going to, on an old character, just do all the endgame stuff and hopefully some Maven practice, and then I want to do it in my hardcore league with the characters that I have there, or with the one gladiator bleed that I want to gear out, and then hopefully soon also be able to dive into some practice for the gauntlet before Badgers League starts, because I skipped out on Badgers Leagues the last 2 times, but I feel like the concept is really getting refined more and more, and you guys are getting really good at running these leagues. And I've heard so many people talk about how much fun they had in them that I this time have to hopefully join.
I mean,
can
I
fit
don't
it in.
even join private league and races and stuff. They never really interest me except this one. The other private leagues
should
are
be
just
fun.
like, it's trade but shitter,
Mhm.
or it's solo self-found but shitter. Like, there's no, I'm not entertained by them. They need a hook or a concept like this one, which is fantastic.
Another good one is to plug other people's leagues. The Brittle Knees Bingo League that does run pretty much every league. That's got a pretty cool hook to it as well. That's pretty fun to play. Basically, you get given a bingo card. Well, everyone gets the same bingo card, and you've just got to be the first to get, basically a lot of, a line of bingo. You know how bingo works.
Every
but there's lots
square
of
is
different
like
things.
an achievement that you have to accomplish, like something like gain all 5 different breach zones, or gain an enriched breach zone, or something like that. And then if you get 5 in a row, or row, column, or diagonal.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I really like the concept. And I played in a couple of them. They're pretty darn fun. But yeah.
Yep. Sounds good. I don't know when that one will be, but I'm sure we'll hear about it. And yeah, I think that about sums it up. I want to thank you for coming on the podcast before I forget, because I always forget to explicitly thank the guests. I want to do it now before we're ending, and I look like an idiot on Balor's YouTube again.
When do you not?
Yeah, it's true. True.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, thanks for coming and discussing all these interesting Path of Exile topics with us. And for those of you who missed the beginning of the podcast, or half, or 80%, or whatever, you can find the thing in full on Balor's YouTube afterwards, and we'll also upload it to the podcast audio platforms as usual. And the next Faded Connections will be on the 20th of February, so in time to still talk about the announcement of Badgers League and the finer details and our strats. And that's about it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks to the guests for coming. Thanks to Balor for coming and doing all the work that we do in the background. And thanks for the audience. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
The waving in the camera meme is too strong.
I can't
It gets
wave
everyone.
in the camera.
Oh yeah, yes,
not.
that's strange.
Yeah, especially if one person does it, then you can't not do it.
Yeah, true.
No.